appetizer to the Hammer and Nigel family, somebody you're going to be hearing quite a bit about in the coming months, Victor's Home Solutions.
Victor's installs the highest quality roofs available for your home, and they take all those negative stereotypes and turn them on their head.
They start with the basics, prompt, follow-up, showing up to appointments on time, and then they go above and beyond with installation teams that are so skilled, so precise, that Victor's is able to offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install.
5-star customer service and perfect installation. You're going to be really impressed with Victor's. They're the only roofer Hammer and I recommend to our listeners. It all starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. Call 1-866-VICTORS or victors.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers and Carmel, designers of fine custom jewelry.
Now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Sunny skies, low humidity. Should be a beautiful afternoon. Today's high 87. Mainly clear skies, quiet overnight, and a bit more humid, a low of 67. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Kendall Casey starts now.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Hey, good news, Casey.
What's that, Rob?
The House is going to get right on this Epstein stuff.
Are they? That is good news. I like hearing that. Tell me more. Say more words.
Wait.
No,
it appears,
you can't say more words.
It appears that they're not going to get right on the Epstein stuff. They're going to go on a recess.
Yeah. They're going to take a little break. They've been working so hard.
When I was a kid, recess was the 30 minutes where you went out to play. So Mike Johnson, I guess, is essentially saying, we're going to go out to play, and then by the way, the cameras broke again. So if you're watching on the YouTube, you'll just see a wide shot. We insisted that the wide shot mostly include Casey. I wanted it to be all on Casey. Carl refused to do that, so it's a wide shot. So as usual, stuff is broke around here. Maybe next week it'll be fixed.
Well, what was the John Mellencamp album we were talking about?
Yes. So John Mellencamp once had an album. This is very early on in his career, and I believe it was called "Nothing Mattered and What If It Did." And that's our government, right? Nothing matters.
Right.
But it's governments across the board. It's governments collectively. It's our federal government, which we're talking now. It's stuff with the state, which we'll talk about. I mean, we're going to have well-known attorney Stephen P. New, who's going to join us next hour, and he's going to lay out legally how, with relative ease, the Department of Justice could give you all of the information on Epstein from a purely legal perspective.
Right.
How they're trying to make it out to be this big rigmarole and blah, 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 and he's going to totally debunk all of that. They're not doing it because they don't want to do it.
Right. So Speaker Mike Johnson, he said no House vote on the Epstein document resolution before the August recess, which means you're not going to get to it until September. The resolution calls for release of the grand jury transcripts and all credible files related to Epstein and Maxwell, of course.
So just pause for just a second. I don't mean to cut you off, but let's just think about this out loud. This is your government. So this isn't even something to make it happen.
Correct.
This is a non-binding.
It's a vote on a resolution.
It's not even to release them. So think about, even if it were a vote to release them, they're saying they care so little about these girls who were sex trafficked that and who these mysterious people were, who are presumably many of them still out amongst the public, maybe still doing the same thing, that they wouldn't even get to that for a month, much less a resolution asking for something to happen for a month. I mean, our government is just they're just the scummiest, most rotten people. And again, though, it comes back to nothing mattered, and
what if it did?
What if it did? Right? I mean, they know that these girls were tortured. They know they were sexually abused. They know they were basically kidnapped. They know they were controlled by who knows who for who knows how long, and the horrible stuff they were forced to do. There is a woman sitting in prison for this thing, and they're like, well, we'll come back in August, and then maybe we'll do a resolution asking for something to happen
Maybe. So President Trump, he ordered Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, to request unsealing these documents. But he's also urging Republicans to drop the issue. So which one is it? You want to talk about talking out of both sides of your mouth. On one side, he's saying, yeah, let's get on this. You go to work, Pam Bondi. And then also, you know what? Wait, just let this thing go away.
You know, it's interesting. And again, please, everybody, 10 o'clock. It's going to be fascinating. Stephen P. Newey's represented many, many famous clients over the years. He's a very, very well thought of attorney, practices law in many states. In fact, he's got a big, I think, because we'll get into with him the stuff with Trump and the defamation case with the Wall Street Journal.
Right.
And he's got a high-profile defamation case, Stephen is, that he's working on. And so he has some good insight on that as well. But, you know, it was interesting. Most of our audience knows one of the people that I was enamored with as a boy was Andy Kaufman. And that, to me, Andy Kaufman was like what entertainment should be, because not just because he was funny, but because of he kept you wondering what was going to happen next. And one of the things as a kid that just enthralled the heck out of me was Andy Kaufman at the height of his fame just decided, I'm going to go bust tables at Jerry's Deli, which is a prominent deli in New York. And not only did he go do that and ran it like a real job and actually did the job, when people would recognize him and they would say, hey, are you Andy Kaufman? He would say, no, and just go about his business and keep doing his job. And obviously it became known that he was there. But one of the things, and because he died so young and most of the stuff, you know, it became third-hand accounts of what he did and why. But one of the reasons I came to believe that he did that was to prove to himself, I can find happiness in anything. That, you know, I don't need this job, because he didn't really like the Lotka character. He didn't really like, he's like, I'm so much more than this wacky guy on Taxi that uses a funny foreign man accent. And if that's all you see me as, I will prove to you I can find happiness, even if it's just bussing tables at, you know, a local deli. And I was thinking about that last night, because this thing going on with our government at all levels is, you can't fight it, you can't fix it, you can't stop it. There's too much of it. It's everywhere. We are so far past the point of gone that when you look at the federal level, the state level, the local level, what do we hear about? What do we expose here? What do we put out in front of people? Unethical behavior after unethical behavior, corruption after corruption. And what happens to the majority of these people? Nothing. Nothing. There's no punishment. There's nothing. And so one of the things that I've been thinking a lot about lately is you got to be able to, and I finally get it. As a kid, I was like, how do you be one of the most famous people on television, and then you just go start bussing tables somewhere? And now as an adult, I get it. That you got to be able to find happiness in anything, because these people, they are the most rotten, evil, underhanded in our society. And nobody, it seems, is willing to stand up, or very few people are willing to stand up and say, I will do the right thing. I will take the slings and arrows. I will be the person who says this is wrong. And they keep getting away with it.
Well, Trump said he was going to be that guy, and now you have to wonder, was this just red meat speeches?
Yes, Trump is no different than the rest. We're talking about human sex trafficking. We're not talking about a public policy disagreement. We're talking about human sex trafficking, about the kidnapping of underage girls, of flying them to this mysterious island where horrible, awful things were done to them. And what's the House's response? After they've already voted it down once before, by the way.
We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a month.
And what's Trump's response? Yeah, Bondi, just do what you got to do. Get it out there. This is so far above. Are we pissed off about spending? Are we upset about this policy or that, or energy independence or whatever? We're talking about people who we know were abused. We know human sex trafficking is a worldwide issue. And we can't even get a vote on a resolution asking somebody to do something about it.
Yeah.
Nothing matters. And what if it did?
So another thing that is happening, Representative Anna Paulina Luna from Florida, she's referring the Fed chair Jerome Powell to the DOJ for criminal perjury charges.
Okay, let's pause because we got to get into this because this is unbelievable given how our federal government operates of what they are trying to do to this guy. I mean, I'm not saying he's in the right here, but given how we spend money in the federal government and all the waste and the fraud and abuse, and this is where they're going to draw the line with the chairman of the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, and the reasons why may surprise you.
You cannot, no matter how much you wake up today hating these people, if you multiplied it by 5, it would not be enough.
It's not enough. All right, we'll talk about the Fed chair coming up from 93 WIBC.
Sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the morning news. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
Hey guys, it's Rob for our friend Mark Deedle. You know, home sales activity is good, not great. So many homes have improperly marketed or sitting on the market. Hiring the wrong sales agent, it's going to cost you time and money. Hire the expert who maximizes equity and sells fast. The expert realtor I recommend is Mark Deedle. Maybe you want a fast, guaranteed, no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Kevin and Angela in Greenwood had to say about working with Mark Deedle. The big home was too much, and it was time for Dad to move into a maintenance-free community, but we needed cash from the home to fund the change. We reached out to the Mark Deedle team, who helped with the entire process from selling belongings to prepping the home for maximum value. We went on the market and sold for $5,000 over asking price in less than 7 days. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Deedle at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
With higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Summer's in full swing, so come get that hot summer deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get $20,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, plus 0% for 72 months. Or lease a new 2025 Lincoln Corsair for just $499 per month at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP $110,425. Corsair MSRP $53,915. $3,500 due at lease signing. 0 security deposit. 36 months. 10,500 miles per year. Offers good through 7/31/2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick. Destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Buying a diamond has changed. There are mined and lab-grown diamonds. Pierce Jewelers carries both. Pierce can educate you and save your hard-earned money. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Say that's all right. Hold tight. Well, I don't even know if I'm doing this right.
All right, so they're going after the head of the Federal Reserve because he won't do what Trump wants, and this is like super gross, but it's just par for the course where we're at now. So let's explain. By this Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. Thank you for being a part of this number one rated radio family. Certainly appreciate you. All right, so Jerome Powell is the chairman of the Federal Reserve. He has been there, I believe he was appointed by Trump.
He was in 2017.
Isn't this interesting how Trump, like, it just happens over and over and over again? Trump appoints these people, and then when they don't do what he wants or whatever, they just
find an issue.
Not that they're doing the opposite.
Make a change.
They're not doing the opposite of what they promised to do. It's not. They're just doing what they said they were going to do. But if it doesn't fit in the box in which he wants, then he just, he just makes them public enemy number one. So the job of the Federal Reserve. Now, it's not whether we agree whether the Federal Reserve should exist or we should be on the gold standard, or, whatever, right? I'm simply telling you what the job of the Federal Reserve is given the rules that are set forth by the government, which is they are to weigh two things, employment and inflation.
That's right.
Their job is to craft the literal, like, what job am I signing up for? Well, your job is to balance employment and inflation. And they craft money policy around those two standards. Well, in this country right now, employment is at near record low levels. It's outstanding. Employment is fine. And so if your job is to balance, what are our two things?
Inflation and unemployment or employment.
Okay. So if the economy does not need any help in terms of being productive, in terms of moving forward, keeping people working, keeping industry going, then common sense would tell you, under no circumstance should you mess with the money supply or the money policy, given the fact that we're already $37 trillion in debt. By the time the big bullcrap bill is done, we're about to be $57 trillion in debt. And that is going to, in and of itself, stoke and drive inflation. Why would you manipulate money to make money more accessible, which would only further drive an already overburdening issue in this country?
Yeah, he uses the interest rate changes, also bond buying and selling, to meet the goals to keep inflation low and or stable, and also promote maximum employment.
Yes. So right now, he being Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, given the charge put to him, and by the way, these clowns in Washington never take any ownership for their role in inflation. Do you ever notice that? At no point are they like, yeah, the $37 trillion of money printing
Maybe
probably.
we should stop spending so much money.
Yeah, they never do that. It's always someone else to blame. So by the standard put forward for him, he's doing a pretty good job because he cannot affect how much money Congress chooses to print. He cannot affect the policies they create. He has to balance the policies they create with the charge that he has. So Trump is...
And he's got to do that while he's coordinating with central banks around the world.
Right. It's a horrible job. Trump is mad because Powell refuses to cut interest rates at the Federal Reserve because Trump knows the tariffs are going to continue to have financial ramifications for the foreseeable future. And he's trying to offset that. This is what they always do. See, this is why we're starting to see Trump is not any different than the rest of these people. When you couple that big bullcrap bill and the legalized vote buying, that's all over that. When you couple the fact that he is lying about Epstein and releasing the stuff on Epstein and is not following through on his campaign promises, that he's trying to artificially cook the economy, which other people will pay for in the future, so that you don't feel ramifications of his stuff. He's just Trump's just another guy this time through. Now, doing a fine job on the border, foreign policy's fine, but by and large, just another guy. So Powell is saying, no, I'm not going to do that because of the charge I have. That does not compute, that does not work, that is not common sense. I'm not going to do that to this country. So now they are trying to get him out of there. Trump claims he can fire him. Most legal scholars have said Trump cannot fire him.
Yeah, that's kind of a legal gray area.
And the economy would be horrible if Trump tried to do that. So what they're trying to do now is find anything they possibly can to remove Jerome Powell as chairman of the Federal Reserve. And now they're hanging their hat on stuff related to the renovation of the Federal Reserve itself.
Yeah, they said that he lied under oath during a June 25th, 25 Senate testimony about what? Renovations, remodeling. He said, they're saying that he downplayed the $600 million cost in overruns. And it includes these VIP dining rooms, marble finishes, water features, a rooftop terrace. And now they're saying, well, that's perjury, which is a felony, which is punishable up to 5 years in prison.
Hi, Dr. Fauci. Hello. Hi, the Biden administration. Hello. Oh, no big deal on that. But this guy, hey, and by the way, let's talk about what we're actually talking about here. They're not mad about the spending of $1.9 billion to renovate the Federal Reserve. That doesn't have them angry. It's, well, it went $600 million over, and that's what we're concerned about. Nobody at any point raised their hand and was like, $1.9 billion sounds like a lot of money. Could we do it for $1 billion? There was no stopping on the initial number. Now they're going to try to hang their hat on the $6 million in overruns, and I guess they think that Jerome Powell is sitting there approving every single expenditure. I don't know. It's, of course, ridiculous that you would spend $1.9 billion or $2.5 billion or $1.2 billion or any of that. That's all ridiculous. That's all grandiose. But pot, meet, kettle. Hello, throwing stones from a glass house. Y'all just approved adding, well, we don't know the exact number yet, but between 3 and 5 trillion on top of the other 10 to 15 trillion you were going to add. So 20 trillion over the next 10 years to the nation's debt. $20 trillion over the next 10 years. And they're hanging their hat on $600 million in overruns on why this guy should get a criminal referral.
Yeah, they're saying that he misled Congress about the renovations, which is really something. Now, here's the thing. Powell's term is going to end in 26.
That's right. He's out.
And, you know, Donald Trump has kind of flip-flopped back and forth of, oh, yeah, we're going to fire him. There were reports that we're going to fire him. And then, well, it's a gray area. We don't know if you can. And then just yesterday, Trump came out and said, no, we're not going to fire him, but we're going to do this to try and bait him into resigning.
Yeah.
That's what is happening.
And it doesn't make it okay what Powell is doing. But none of it's okay. None of it. The whole thing is not okay. And all of this crap that happens in front of these people every day, and they don't do a damn thing about it. And now this project, we are becoming this is Banana Republic type stuff. This is Soviet Union type stuff. Oh, you don't play ball? You go to the gulag.
We're going to find something.
Yeah,
we didn't have an issue with it before, but now you're not playing, so we're going to find something now.
And these are the Republicans and the Trump administration. Shame on all of these people.
Hunter Biden had a few things to say yesterday.
He's back?
Oh, he's back, and he was dropping F-bombs left and right. We put Kevin to work on some editing today. You want to hear what he had to say?
Boy, howdy.
Yeah, it's coming up from 93 WIBC.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with XFi Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Meeting with someone closest to him. It's partly cloudy, 71 in the Circle City, 87 is the high today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:30. The Department of Justice says it's working to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell in prison in connection with the Jeffrey Epstein case.
Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche said in a social media post that he's communicating with lawyers for Ghislaine Maxwell and says he anticipates meeting with her, quote, in the coming days. Maxwell was convicted of helping financier Jeffrey Epstein run a trafficking ring of young girls and was sentenced to 20 years in prison in 2022. Last week, the DOJ asked a federal court to unseal the grand jury transcripts in the Epstein case following President Trump's call for it. Court filings stated that even though the DOJ and the FBI are confident about a memo that said that there was no evidence of a client list and confirmed that Epstein died by suicide, the court should unseal the testimonies out of public interest. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
New York police apprehending a pair of migrants charged with shooting an off-duty CBP officer in the face on Saturday during a robbery attempt. NYPD Chief of Department John Schell tells Fox and Friends these types of incidents are becoming commonplace.
Our mayor supports us in every endeavor, gives us what we need, gives me the tools I need and the freedom to really go out and fight crime, and I think you see the residuals of that. The mayor will be the mayor for the next 4 years. He's going to win.
Schell says he believes the NYPD has the full support of Mayor Eric Adams. And for the first time, Iranian officials confirming the level of damage to their nuclear sites after U.S. airstrikes there last month. Iran's foreign minister said the sites suffered serious damage. The strikes came after U.S. and Israeli officials accused the country of seeking a nuclear weapon, although Iran's government claims the program is for civilian purposes only. Now your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow is down 40 points, 44,323. The S&P 500 up just 3 points, 6,300, or 6,305 is that number. And then the NASDAQ is down 6 points to 23,180. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Bill Estes Ford is your neighborhood truck dealer. And right now, during the Ford Summer Sales Event, we've got an amazing deal you won't want to miss. 0% APR, 0 down payment, and 0 payments for 90 days. That's 3 big zeros, which adds up to 0 excuses not to drive home in a new Ford today. Every day is truck day. Go anywhere, do anything in a new F-150, starting at just $46,295. Bill Estes Ford. Online at BillEstesFord.com.
Stock BFP 250444. OEC. See dealer for details.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Fill your tank. Don't drain your wallet. Sam's Club lets you save time at the pump with Scan and Go checkout at Sam's Club fuel stations. Just scan the QR code on the pump and pay. Visit your local Sam's Club today.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing. I don't have any cravings. You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no craving. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
Early bird special, only $49.99 guaranteed. No no irritability, no cravings, because don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all. In addition, use hypnosis to lose all the weight and destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars Thursday, July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m., stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
That's funny. That's good stuff, Kevin. I see what you're doing there. Hunter Biden. I get it. No, it's good stuff. A little humor from producer Kevin this morning. It's the Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. Casey's here. You know what's fascinating? Is the right, some sort of inalienable right, these people in politics believe that they have to whatever the thing it is that is theirs, as though it should not ever be stripped from them. The power, the money, the prestige, the lifestyle, as though they have earned it, and by earning it, they cannot be challenged to it ever again.
Well, it's like they reach final level in a video game, and then they just are going to stay there forever. There's no final boss that they have to beat.
Yeah, and I think that's what's really interesting. And again, we collectively, society, have created this because we just keep voting for the same people. Like, it's rare people even get challengers a lot of the time. When they do, it's very rare they're any sort of worthy challenger. And then, it's 50-50 if you get a good challenger, whether that person will even survive. Like, we've created a system. I mean, what is one of the things we've been laying out over the past months now on this show is how much money just controls everything. And just how money flowing into these politicians just now dominates everything that they do, every way they respond, who they will or will not hold accountable. And if that's the driver, right? If money is your object, you will almost never do the right thing.
Well, State Affairs put out that campaign finance report for our state elected officials, and I think Diego Morales, Secretary of State, was close to $1 million. The Attorney General was at $1.5 million. The Lieutenant Governor is sitting at $2,000.
Yeah, because why? Because Micah gave away all his power. This is a really and we're going to get into Hunter Biden in a second, but this is a really interesting thing you're laying out there. Diego is bragging about having $1 million. That's super weird. That's super weird that a Secretary of State, who everybody knows. It's not like you meet Diego and go, that is the most competent guy I've ever met. That is George Washington.
Take my money.
In the flesh. Has $1 million. Todd Rokita, he is a walking, talking gaffe machine. And has what? What was the number? 1.4 million?
Yeah, close to 1.5.
He's such a goof that he could lose his law license potentially in front of the disciplinary commission.
Taxpayers have already paid nearly $500,000 to
and
keep it.
And look at what he's got. Compare that to Micah. How much does Micah have?
It's like $2,000.
Why? Because Micah gave away all his power. Micah has no interest in governing. and he's just interested in preparing himself for a television career because he thinks he's going to be the next Charlie Kirk, and he's using that office. So when you give away the power, people look at you and go, why would I give you money? You have nothing to offer me. These people who give money, most of them, especially the big donors, they're not interested in some giving out of some altruistic love of country. They're giving because they want something. And when you don't have anything to offer them, they're just not going to give you any money. Now, in the case of Mike, he didn't care because he only wanted to be there 4 years to do this television thing or whatever, and then he's off to the next thing. It's why when Braun took all his power from him, he didn't care. He didn't fight. We were thinking in the beginning, like, dude, you got to fight, man. You got to stand and fight because you're going to lose all your power.
Oh, that's not the end goal, though.
Yeah, no. But money, the love of money, right? What is the saying? The root of all evil, or whatever, right? The love of money, and in politics, the lust for that money and what it means, or they perceive that it means in terms of a job security, drives people from doing the right stuff. It drives people from doing the right things.
Well, the love of money kept the Biden administration in the race, depriving Democrats of a real primary.
And why? Because they believe they're entitled to it. With this interview with Hunter Biden, Joe Biden should have never run for president to begin with. They had no business doing that. But because they believed he was entitled to that office, because he was entitled to be in public office, and that family was entitled to the grift that they had made so much money off of, that they said, well, you've got to do this.
We're owed this.
Right.
Joe Biden has been in office for 50 years, so of course.
And now Hunter Biden has reemerged from whatever sewer he was hiding in. And he did some interview, didn't he?
He did a couple yesterday. Actually, well, yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of the auto pen dropping out of the race.
Has it been a year?
Yeah.
Holy smokes. It's been a year. All right. We have some. He's mad at Nancy Pelosi, right?
He's blaming Nancy Pelosi for his dad's ouster. Listen to this.
And you would have the Speaker Emeritus that would say, well, you know, I'm going to leave it up to, but I don't know. And they had already made a decision. They had clearly made a decision. And when I say they, I mean the Speaker. And, you know, I heard Alexander Pelosi say something, call my like, put your big girl pants on to my mom or something. And I kind of feel like saying, who the do you think you are? I would never speak about your mom that way.
Yeah.
I would never speak about your father that way. I would never insult your parents that way.
So why didn't he speak up in the moment? Because they were plotting the grift on the way out the door.
Well, he had to get his pardon in
Well,
line.
exactly. Right. He was protecting himself.
Correct.
Why didn't you say something in the moment, dude? If you were so offended by it, it was so bad. Can you imagine somebody saying, if you're driving down the road right now, somebody saying those things about your father, your mother, whatever.
In his case, his stepmom, but go ahead.
And you're just, well, I mean, and they ran his dad out of the race. They basically said his dad was a dementia patient, and they ran him out of the race. And he didn't say a word because he was invested in himself. Because he believes he has some inalienable right to the money and the power and the prestige because he was born a Biden.
He claimed that Joe Biden took an Ambien the night before that debate, that disastrous debate of Joe Biden. He said his father was exhausted from all the global travel, and that's why he looked like the deer in the headlights on the stage. So that's something to consider because you've got the presidential physician, Kevin O'Connor, who has invoked the Fifth Amendment when questioned by Congress. And they're all saying all along how competent he was, but now Hunter Biden is coming out saying, no, he had to take a sleeping pill. We had to get him down off that high, gave him a sleeping pill so he could get a good night's sleep before that debate.
Yeah. We have another clip of...
Oh, there's plenty.
Oh, good.
Here he is trying to deny any cover-up of Biden's mental or physical decline.
Because what we did is this, is we watched Joe Biden turn 80, then 81, and then 82. We watched him get old in front of our eyes. And that does not mean that you're incapacitated. And how can you measure whether someone is incapacitated or not?
He was old when he ran. What do you mean you watched him get old before I was
Right.
He disappeared for 4 years and then decided he was going to run for president. He was old. He is old.
Right. And he would only work from 10 to 4 every day.
And again, it's the complete because of this, I have the right to this stuff, the normalization of just completely, just behavior that is so beyond the pale for someone who's the president of the United States. There's nothing wrong with Biden's behavior from the sense of his cognitive decline. It happens to almost everyone. It will happen to me someday. It will happen to you someday if we live long enough. It's not that. It's we're not in charge of 330 million people.
That's right. Well, we've got more from Hunter Biden that we're going to get to. And it is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show. Hunter Biden says his dad, Joe, was on Ambien during that disastrous debate against Trump. All the fun starts at 3, 93 WIBC.
Are you struggling with bad feet? Hi, this is Phoebe, and at the Good Feet store, we hear a lot about foot, knee, hip, and back pain. I'd like you to hear what Kelsey, a kinesiologist, has to say about the Good Feet arch support system.
As an exercise specialist, I've seen all kinds of things that people try to put in their shoes to get out of pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that they support all 4 arches in the foot.
So, did you know you had 4 arches in each foot? Most shoes and inserts only support 1. Maybe that's the reason all the remedies you've tried in the past just didn't work.
When the foot's placed in the ideal position, everything else up the kinetic chain works better. You have better balance, more energy, you're gonna feel better. Being able to move freely and out of pain means everything to me, and good movement starts with the feet.
We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood, just off the 65. Learn more at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book an appointment for your free personalized fitting at goodfeet.com or just stop in. Walk-ins are welcome, helping people live pain-free 2 feet at a time.
You know that feeling of a fresh, clean home? This is Denny Smith for Zero Res, and Zero Res is celebrating National Carpet Cleaning Month with a great summer special. Get 3 rooms Zero Resified and get 1 room free and $50 off air duct cleaning too. Just think about everything that's always left behind in and on your floors. Dirt, dust, allergens, pet dander, and stains. Vacuuming is just not sufficient to maintain the cleanliness and lifespan of carpet. Zero Res can clean virtually any surface in your home. And remember, Zero Res's patented ZR water cleans with no soaps, no residue, and no harsh chemicals. It's clean, safe, and effective. And that's why they have a 4.9 rating on Google with over 5,000 reviews. With the aftermath of graduation parties, summer barbecues, holidays, and family festivities, it really is time to call in the Zero Res pros to do the pit stop on your floors. Just call Zero Res, mention WIBC, and when you get 3 rooms Zero Resified, you'll get 1 room free and $50 off air duct cleaning too. ZeroResIndy.com.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath. You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25. New customers only. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Busy day? No problem. The WIBC Mashup podcast catches you up with standout moments from your favorite shows. Fresh episodes every weekday. One click, all the good stuff. Get your daily fix. Search WIBC Mashup wherever you get your podcasts.
You know the nighttime now.
I saw a word yesterday, and I have to ask you about
Are you learning new things, Rob Kendall? I'm so proud of you. You're growing.
Well, apparently apparently it's been around for a while, but you know how the internet is, right?
Mhm.
Something will just make a comeback or pop up in your feed or
Sure.
whatever. This is an actual term that is a thing that is happening in our society,
Mhm.
and I think I can say this. It's hobosexual,
Hobosexual.
like one word.
Hobo.
Hobo,
Mhm.
sexual.
Yeah.
And this is an actual term
Mhm.
used to describe. Now, this is how the Google AI described it, and I think you will agree. This is the other internet things I'd sent you were accurate. Is a term used to describe a person, often a man, who seeks out relationships for the sole purpose of having a place to live and other financial support.
Just needs a place to crash.
So you're looking for a sugar mama, basically.
That's what it is. Now, I've seen this with women who are doing it with men.
Sugar daddy.
Sugar daddy, right. Just need a place to stay.
But this here says just a person, often a man.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, they manipulate or deceive others into providing them with housing, food, and other resources,
Mhm.
often while engaging in deceptive or manipulative behavior. Okay, so that's a little different then. Like, okay, a sugar daddy or sugar mama, like they know the score.
Right.
Like,
They know what's going
like
on.
if Kevin were to move in with a 45-year-old caramel socialite,
Mhm.
she knows what's up.
Right.
She knows Kev's not staying forever. She knows why she's invited Kevin into her house.
Kevin better make her feel good because that's his job.
This appears to be someone who gives off the vibe of
I'm truly interested in
Right,
you.
exactly.
But really just interested in your wallet.
yes, and I guess living off of you,
Mhm.
the blah blah blah,
Mhm.
and okay, so that's
Little
a thing.
security,
This
yes.
this sounds like this is fairly common. Too.
Yes. So I knew a guy who a woman had done this to him. They had gone on a few dates and she ended up spending the night and he realized what was going on and she spent the night on the couch instead. And same guy now has a live-in who he believes it's just part of her retirement plan to live rent-free.
But he's allowing her to do that.
Correct.
Yes.
So he knows the score.
They often use lies, charm, and emotional manipulation to gain and maintain these relationships.
Mhm.
So,
Well, you got to be nice
So-
if you're doing that.
well, so what is it? Is this like a, hey, Cindy, I'm a little down on my luck, but boy, you look pretty today.
Mhm.
We should, somehow the guy ends up living there and like, give me a week, I'm going to go get a job. And next thing you know, it's been a month and he's still watching,
Mhm.
Doug Funny reruns and Rugrats on the television in his underwear eating Cheetos.
I'm not sure if there's any, hey, Cindy, I'm down on my luck conversations. I think it's just, let's just share this place of yours, this wonderful place. And
Sharing would imply, though, you're contributing.
well, that's true.
And wouldn't you at some point, as the contributor,
Mhm.
recognize that,
This guy's dead weight. This guy's
right, he's not contributing.
He's not. But if he's saying all of the right things and masking it, I think that's where the deception is coming in.
Okay. All right. Very good. So that is a thing. And I learned something today or
Mhm.
yesterday, and you confirmed. You're like, oh, yeah, that's totally a thing. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was one of those internet memes or whatever. You're like, no, that's totally a real thing.
Well, no, I mean, you've probably seen even, maybe not to the extent of living together, but women going on dates with men just to get a free meal.
Yeah.
They know they're clearly not interested in the man, but they want to get a nice dinner.
But you're not living with the
No,
guy.
that's true. That's
Like,
like,
there's
the
a-
next step.
Look, I have, most men have done this. I have gone on dates with women who were completely out of my league just so that I could forever say
Mhm.
I went on the date with so-and-so. Because I knew in my 20s that person was going to marry somebody richer and better looking than me. But forever, I would be able to say, like, and it's just my own trophy case. It doesn't mean anything to anyone else. But in my own mind, for the remainder of days, I went on a date with so-and-so. I knew it wasn't going to work out. I knew that she would take one look at where I lived. And look, Casey, you will back me up on this. I can spin a pretty good tale. I have wormed my way, bull-crapped my way into some incredible positions in my life. But eventually you got to show somebody where you live. And your charm and charisma and that whatever, how great your pickup line is, that's only going to go so far with someone who cash is their top priority. But I would sacrifice whatever monetary contribution that took just to forever in my mind as that person went on to live their inevitably charmed life on boats and islands and whatever else that, hey, I went on a date with that person. I had the puncher's chance, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why a lot of employment places have a 90-day probation because they say, you know what? If you are who you say you are, okay. But if you're not, you can't keep that up for more than 3 months.
Hey, real quick, a legendary member of a famous show has passed away.
Yeah, that was something, huh? Surprised a lot of people. Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away, 54 years old. Apparently, he drowned after he was pulled out to sea by a current in Costa Rica.
Yeah, TMZ reported that he was on some sort of vacation, and obviously this was an accidental death, and that's horrible. He was only 54 years old, and it's one of those people because, I mean, I think he did some acting, but it's one of those guys where because he was such a prominent part of a show as a young person, you just forever picture him
as a young person, as the 14-year-old. He was nominated for an Emmy. He also won a Grammy, and it's a shame that people aren't going to see more of his acting from those days on The Cosby Show because of the lack of reruns for The Cosby Show.
Because of Bill Cosby, yes.
Yeah. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC. Coming up next, Stephen P. New is going to join us.
Yes, we're going to get into all things legal Epstein. Could Trump just release the information? What's the holdup? We'll go on the legal side with Stephen P. New.
It's on the way from 93 WIBC.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. You know, one of the cool things about when we promote businesses here is they give us a little script to follow. They give us some talking points, if you will. But with Universal Windows Direct, I just throw the script out the window because the deal is so good, it speaks for itself. Now, Casey, watch me right now. Look into my eyes, Casey, and you will back me up that I am not just reading some sort of script as I'm talking about this. Listen to this deal. This is how great this deal is. And she is glaring at me right now to make sure that my eyes don't come off looking right at her. Universal Windows Direct, right now, 2 incredible deals. You get to make the choice. First of all, you can choose $99 a month. Brand new. Casey's in a non-existent conversation with me right now. $99 a month for brand new, beautiful windows in your home. Or if you're like, well, that's good, but can you do a little better? How about this? 12 months, no interest, no payments to have brand new, amazing windows in your home. That's right. You make the choice. $99 a month, 12 months, no interest, no payments, right now with Universal Windows Direct. Now, some restrictions may apply. So to get all the information, you got to call today, 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574, or you can check their work out on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com. Casey, crack that mic open. Did my eyes deviate? Did I do it looking right at you the whole time?
You had that whole thing memorized.
There
That's
you
amazing.
Go. I love Universal Windows Direct. Call today, 317-659-7574.
Summer's in full swing, so come get that hot summer deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get $20,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, plus 0% for 72 months. Or lease a new 2025 Lincoln Corsair for just $499 per month at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP $110,425. Corsair MSRP $53,915. $3,500 due at lease signing. 0 security deposit. 36 months. 10,500 miles per year. Offers good through 7/31/2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Most people have no idea there's an invisible gap in their home's protection. This invisible threat is house stealing. Con artists pick a house. They transfer the deed of this house into their name by obtaining the forms, using the fake IDs, and filing the paperwork with proper authorities. Now they own the home. Protect your home from this invisible gap. Check on your home's title right now at HomeTitleLock.com. Be sure to use promo code RADIO and they will send you a complete title scan of your home's title. And your first 30 days of triple lock title protection is free. HomeTitleLock.com.
Guys, feeling exhausted? It could be low testosterone. Get your energy back with TRT at the Low T Center. Right now, get a free test and save over $100.
This offer ends July 31st. Book your test today at FixMyLowT.com. FixMyLowT.com.
It takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Visit liveunited.org to learn how you can help.
When was the last time you practiced your home fire escape plan? Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. It's your fire safe response.
When you're high, you feel different. But if you feel different, you drive different. So don't drive high. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, the idea one state senator has to keep downtown Indianapolis a safe place. How a state representative feels about what some prosecutors and judges are doing, the number of years a Greenfield man is getting for inappropriately touching young kids, and who the Fever get tonight to start the second half of the WNBA season. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
She will tell the truth. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer tells Fox this morning, thanking President Trump for his commitment in the Jeffrey Epstein controversy that he's called a hoax. Even as Trump supporters are among those demanding all the files be released, not believing an FBI conclusion. The Department of Justice defended again today as accurate that Epstein did not leave behind a list of well-known clients when he committed suicide in jail awaiting trial on charges of sex trafficking underage girls.
Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche saying the following, quote, President Trump has told us to release all credible evidence. If Ghislaine Maxwell has information about anyone who has committed crimes against victims, the FBI and the DOJ will hear what she has to say. I have communicated with counsel for Ms. Maxwell to determine whether she would be willing to speak with prosecutors from the department. I anticipate meeting with Ms. Maxwell in the coming days, end quote.
That's Fox's Todd Pyro. In an hour, President Trump will host an Asian leader at the White House. Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. talking about China and regional security and trade ahead of a 20% U.S. tariff on Filipino imports set to take effect next month. Many other countries also facing a looming Trump tariff, so the negotiations continue to avoid them. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent tells Fox Business,
we're about to announce a rash of trade deals in the coming days, and a lot of these trade deals are going to include substantial investments in the U.S.
The president's going to once again pull the U.S. out of UNESCO, something he also did in his first term.
UNESCO stands for the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. A White House spokesperson tells the New York Post, President Trump has decided to withdraw the United States from UNESCO, which supports woke, divisive, cultural, and social causes that are totally out of step with the common sense policies that Americans voted for in November. The decision takes effect at the end of next year. The U.S. rejoined UNESCO in 2023 under President Biden.
That's Chris Foster. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Continuing to do work downtown. It's partly cloudy, 73 in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today, 87. I'm Sheriff Lewis for Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 10:02. Indiana Republican Senator Michael Young telling Wish TV that he wants to give the state full control over the area downtown, which includes key landmarks like the State House, Monument Circle, and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. This in response to the ongoing violence and safety concerns.
Evan Bayh sent the state police up to Gary in Lake County and solved their crime issue in about 90 days or so. So we know it can be done. We know it can be done by the state police.
Senator Young says Indiana State Police would handle law enforcement, freeing up local IMPD officers for other areas. State Representative Andrew Ireland says lawmakers should consider giving the General Assembly the power to impeach prosecutors and judges who fail to enforce state law, particularly in cases involving violent crime. In an interview with Indy Politics this past weekend, Ireland said the current situation in Marion County has moved beyond discretion and into neglect. A Greenfield man is sentenced this week to over 70 years in prison for touching children inappropriately. Jericho Johnson, who worked at a YMCA, a church, and also a child care academy, was arrested last February after two girls say he touched them while playing a game at a cafeteria. That led detectives to discovering that he had inappropriately touched two others. Kelly Basie, who was the director of the child care academy that Johnson was at, she was also charged with reckless supervision and failure to report. Now that the All-Star break is over, the second half of the season is about to begin in the WNBA. Indiana Fever guard Lexi Hull said at practice Monday that the team's focus has to consistently be there.
The second half, all these games mean a lot. We're chasing, to put ourselves in a good position heading into playoffs, so we're taking every day really serious, locking in on every scout, every game. I'm not taking any day too easy.
The team starts off the second half tonight against the New York Liberty. Fever guard Caitlin Clark has now been ruled out for tonight's game as she deals with a groin injury. And the Indianapolis Colts are in Westfield today reporting for training camp. The first official day of camp at Grand Park is tomorrow. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Kendall Casey back in 1 minute.
You know, sometimes dealing with home service contractors can be frustrating, whether it's missed appointments, sloppy workmanship, or just a general sense of indifference about helping you. Frustrating hardly describes that experience, Hammer.
And that's why we want to welcome a new advertiser to the Hammer and Nigel family, somebody you're going to be hearing quite a bit about in the coming months, Victor's Home Solutions.
Victor's installs the highest quality roofs available for your home, and they take all those negative stereotypes and turn them on their head.
They start with the basics, prompt, follow-up, showing up to appointments on time. And then they go above and beyond with installation teams that are so skilled, so precise, that Victor's is able to offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install.
5-star customer service and perfect installation. You're going to be really impressed with Victor's. They're the only roofer Hammer and I recommend to our listeners. It all starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. Call 1-866-VICTORS or victors.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Casey, I don't know if you know, but people are pretty interested in this Trump, Epstein, what in the world's going on thing.
You don't say. It's been going on for a while now.
Well, we have obviously spent much of the past couple weeks talking about this whole thing because it's so bizarre how somebody can go from campaigning on something to then just, I don't understand what the big deal is.
Nothing to see here. Move along, people.
And then really kind of going at hard. People have been ardent supporters of his who are simply saying, look, we're very concerned about a human sex trafficking ring. We're very concerned about who these people were and what they were doing. And we've just found it a little off that he has responded in this manner.
Yeah, and now if you're asking questions, you're deemed a troublemaker.
So there's so much now about with Trump saying, well, I'm asking the DOJ to ask the court to release this and release that. And I thought, legally, let's find out what's actually going on here. And luckily, when it comes to our version of legal stuff, we got one of the best in the business.
We got a guy.
He's an attorney to the stars. His name is Stephen P. New. He's represented many, many famous people throughout the great fruited plains of America. He joins us now. Stephen P. New, hello.
How are you guys doing? Good morning.
Great. So I thought, okay, first of all, start with this. How hard is it to go to a court, like Trump's saying, I'm asking the DOJ to tell the court to release this information. How hard is it to get a court to release grand jury information?
Okay, well, the answer to every question in law school was it depends. So, all right, so upon what does it depend, then, would say my astute professors of law at the West Virginia University College of Law, and that was the tough part. So upon what does it depend? Here, in a case like this, you have had Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell charged with sex trafficking, okay? One would think that unless Ms. Maxwell were trafficking the children to Epstein and or Epstein solely back to her, those would be the only two people involved in the conspiracy. So the only way that files might not be released or that the DOJ may not approach a judge to say, Judge, unseal these files, would be if there is an ongoing criminal investigation. We haven't heard anything about an ongoing criminal investigation concerning Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell associates, or the files could still be unsealed, yet redacted with victims' information, of the victims' information, even if there were no ongoing criminal investigation, if Congress, for instance, thought that there was foreign influence over elected officials in the United States and Congress wanted to subpoena these records. Congress could subpoena these records, and there would be intelligence committees or other committees in Congress that the court could release those same files to remaining under seal. So for Pam Bondi's DOJ to act like this is a nothing burger when Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, Dan Bongino on a podcast for 4 solid years said release the Epstein files. J.D. Vance on Theo Vaughn, release the Epstein files. We've got to release the Epstein files and see what's there. And then just a couple of weeks ago come out and go, we've looked in every file drawer and we've checked the, 300 gigs of data, which is nothing, by the way. My opioid file is 4 terabyte data, but that's neither here nor there.
Hey, Stephen, let me
300 gigs of data. I eat that for breakfast.
Stephen, let me introduce you to our audience. Casey's dying to get in here. Stephen P. New is our guest, attorney to the stars. We're trying to walk through legally what in the world actually is going on with the Epstein stuff and what should be going on. Casey, go ahead.
Yeah, you had mentioned that Congress can release the files, but Speaker of the House Mike Johnson said he doesn't plan to allow any of those voting measures to happen until after the recess, possibly not until September. Why wait?
No. Politics. That's the only reason why Mike Johnson would want to wait about this. They don't want to give political opponents any ammunition, but I will tell you, if this continues to fester, their base is turning on them.
Stephen P. New is our guest. All right, so legally, I think you did a great job of laying out why there really is no case on why this wouldn't be released. We see all the time, and you know this as an attorney, that prosecutors, when they have a high-profile case, they'll lay out the evidence to the public to try to sway the public on their side. Even this stuff, if it wasn't released to a grand jury, they have the evidence, right? Is there anything legally that would prevent them, Stephen, from laying this out to the public? Here's what we took. Here was the evidence that we took to the grand jury.
Like I said, the only reason why you wouldn't do it would be if you had an ongoing criminal investigation. Notice that Pam Bondi, by the way, Stetson University Law School in St. Petersburg is a very nice law school. They have their own pool. I was there a few weeks ago. But she said, she's never said we're not releasing these files because of an ongoing criminal investigation. In fact, she said the opposite, that there was no other unindicted co-conspirators, for instance. So Pam Bondi has specifically said not only is there no ongoing criminal investigation, there are no unindicted co-conspirators, and we know better than that because Prince Andrew settled a defamation case against one of the young ladies from the modeling agency. And the tentacles of this with the Wexler guy who founded Victoria's Secret and Bed Bath & Beyond, and Epstein running that guy's finances, and then the modeling guy that ended up dead in a French prison in 2022. I mean, this stuff is crazy. And notice also, when I'm doing cases, I listen for what the other side doesn't say. What Pam Bondi didn't say was that Jeffrey Epstein was acting on behalf of a foreign government who had blackmail information with compromised United States politicians and high-profile celebrities. She never said that.
Stephen P. New is our guest, attorney to the stars. He has represented many famous people over the years, and he does civil litigation, criminal litigation. If you were to ever be on the wrong side of Stephen P. New, I've seen him in action in some of his more high-profile cases. No, it's not. Okay, so, Stephen, is there anything the public can do? Is there any sort of, lawsuit or anything they could file to try to force the hand on this?
There's really not, because there's no way, absent the family of Jeffrey Epstein bringing a wrongful death lawsuit against the Federal Bureau of Prisons, or Ghislaine Maxwell asserting her innocence. Notice, if I were Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney, I would have already filed the motion.
Yeah.
But short of one of those two things, there's nothing really the public can do other than political pressure to say, look, if you are a Republican, and you are a MAGA, and Trump, Vance, Bondi, Patel, Bongini campaigned on, we're going to get to the bottom of what Biden's DOJ is covering up here and why they won't release the Epstein list. Well, you were put in office for that. If I'm a MAGA, I say, look, I voted for you in part because I wanted to find out whether our government was compromised and who these high-profile people were on this, sex trafficking list, and now you've completely abandoned me on that. So political pressure from both the left and the right is the only thing that's going to get to the bottom of this.
Hey, before we let you go, I wonder this, like when baseball players, retired baseball players or old-timey baseball players watch baseball games, do they, are they super critical of the game or I would hit the ball there?
Armchair quarterbacking.
Stephen, when you watch criminal cases, do you do that? Like if you do you play along at home or if I was Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney, here's what I would have done. Do you do that in high-profile? Absolutely, and I'll do that until the day I die. All they do in law school is program you to think like a lawyer and surgically remove your heart. So you're a lawyer until the day you die. And absolutely, when Pam Bondi came out and said there is no Epstein file, I immediately thought, then why is Ghislaine Maxwell in prison? Yeah. Here's the deal, Casey. If someone ever comes at me because I would, of course, never commit any sort of felonious actions or crimes against humanity.
You gonna hire Stephen P.
If somebody comes at me, or if you want to get tangled in some sort of civil action, the law firm of Stephen P. New is who I'm going with. So you better get ready.
That makes a lot of sense. I think that would be a good choice. Stephen, before we let you go, I have one last question for you. The Wall Street Journal was banned from Trump's Scotland trip over this Epstein story and the alleged picture and birthday note. And Trump, of course, has threatened to sue the Wall Street Journal. Anything there?
Why was J.D. Vance with Rupert Murdoch 3 days before that Journal story broke? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just being a conspiracy theorist again. Oh, my stars and garters. So here's the thing. The Wall Street Journal's been sued for defamation. Truth is an absolute defense. If the letter from the Wall Street Journal is authentic, they win that case.
Is it possible they could have been allowed to print that without definitive proof because they had to know what was coming?
Oh, it's tricky. I mean, if they had a reliable source who said, yes, this is an authentic copy of a Donald Trump letter and signature and et cetera, through the lawsuit process, they are going to have to prove the authenticity of that document, that the document is what they said in their story that it was. And if they can't do that, then Trump's going to win. If they can do that, then Trump's got a lot of egg on his face because he said things like, I don't draw pictures, of course. And, of course, there's about 12 of his pictures hanging in galleries in different places. But that's neither here nor there. So I am watching. I have a defamation case against the New York Times right now in Alabama concerning a former Alabama basketball player. It goes to trial in May 2026. And I am going to be watching the Wall Street Journal Trump case with bated breath.
Stephen P. New, the best in the business. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you for having me on, guys. Great to talk to you as always.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
Now, the idea of Uber goes against everything we were taught as kids, though.
What's that?
Never get into a car with a stranger.
But there's betting.
Now we pay for it. We're literally paying the stranger to take us somewhere.
But at least there's some sort of vetting. You know the name of the person that's coming.
So you'll know your kidnapper. It's like having an alarm on your car. Great, I can hear it being stolen.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. Who are they? Well, they're a sister company of Rhino Shield, and Premier Deck Coating is the product you need if you're tired of applying the same old stain and paint every couple of years to your deck. It's Terry, Stacy, and David and I have a deck that's probably 25 years old. The countless hours and the money that we spend on maintaining that deck never ends. And then we heard about Premier Deck Coating. Family owned, based right here in Indy, and they are going to completely transform our deck with their special formulated product, which repels moisture, scratch resistant in virtually any color that we want, and backed by a 10-year guarantee. No more spending time staining or painting every year. Premier Deck Coating will keep our deck looking great for years to come. Premier Deck Coating can also do fences and pergolas too. For a free quote, call 317-696-4071 or visit premierdeckcoating.com.
Indianapolis was built for speed, electricity, and nonstop action. So was Live Golf. So where better to crown a new individual champion? Leading the pack, Rahm, DeChambeau, and Neiman. But only one can be the victor. So be at Chatham Hills August 15th to 17th as Live Golf gets even louder. With a doubleheader concert from Riley Green and Jason Derulo. Tickets are already flying out of the gate. Hurry and grab yours now at livegolf.com.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Bill Estes Ford is your neighborhood truck dealer. And right now, during the Ford Summer Sales Event, we've got an amazing deal you won't want to miss. 0% APR, 0 down payment, and 0 payments for 90 days. That's 3 big zeros, which adds up to 0 excuses not to drive home in a new Ford today. Every day is truck day. Go anywhere, do anything in a new F-150, starting at just $46,295. Bill Estes Ford, online at BillEstesFord.com.
Stock BFP 250444 OEC. See dealer for details.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Okay. I'm all for people trying to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. My concern is the sheer mechanics of trying to do this thing are vague, and the devil's in the details. And I don't think this works from just an X's and O's point of view. So it's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. We're talking about there's this growing chorus of people in the legislature who want the state of Indiana to take over the downtown area, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, so there's a couple aspects of this. You've got State Senator Mike Young. He's suggested that the state police take over jurisdiction of the Indianapolis Mile Square.
Yes.
And then you also have State Rep Andrew Ireland calling for legislation that would allow the General Assembly to impeach prosecutors and judges who fail to enforce state laws.
Okay, so a couple of things. One, if you're not going to solve the problem, which is out of control violence and that people think they can do whatever they want to do by just putting what I guess the state police in the downtown area. First of all, the state police are not equipped to do that. It's not what they do. They're not patrol officers, most of them. They're not trained in that. Again, I equated it to, it's like playing golf in the British Open when it's
60 degrees and wind blowing in the side versus trying to play at Augusta, Georgia, where it's 75 and sunny. It's still the same game of golf. It's just a different way. You got to hit the ball, got to move the ball. The course is different. They're not trained to do that. So are you going to then create a whole new class of officer who is trained to work like IMPD works? Well, who's going to pay for that? How much is that going to cost? You're going to have a group of people reporting what to the governor, and then a group of people that still report to Hogsett. Okay, whatever. Let's just pretend you were going to do that. When I was in my 20s, there was a clear movement of violence in the city between downtown and Broad Ripple. And what would happen, and this was like, it was ping pong, even year, odd year. The violence would be out of control in Broad Ripple. There'd be a bunch of headlines. The cops would flood Broad Ripple Village, and you would just see starting at about midnight, you'd see a row of cars down the main strip in Broad Ripple for the remainder of the evening. And then it would all get under control because they couldn't get away with it there. And then violence would get out of control downtown. And so the next year, you would see the cops flood back in the greater downtown mile area, and violence would get under control here and would go back to Broad Ripple. Like, they're not going to stop being violent. People aren't going to stop killing people. They're going to stop doing they're criminals. So if you're going to say, well, and say it out loud, well, hey, the 1 mile greater downtown area is such an economic driver. Their lives the people's lives, they're more important than other people's lives. We're going to flood it, and we're just not going to let it happen here. Okay, we can have that conversation, but let's at least admit out loud what we're saying, because this is not going to stop violence in the city of Indianapolis, just simply letting the state take over the downtown area.
So Mike Young proposes that the mile square boundary is north, south, east, and west streets, which includes the State House and the government complex, Monument Circle, the Indiana War Memorial, Circle Center Mall, and also Gamebridge Field House. And how he wants this to be governed is that a commissioner is appointed by the governor, and then they have a 5-member council, 1 member who's appointed by the governor, 2 by the House, 2 by the Senate, and then residents are going to be able to vote on whether to retain these council members.
So wait. So we're going to create, it's even worse than I thought. He's going to create a whole new level of government.
Well, he says it's not going to cost the city any money. They won't lose it. Actually, they'll be able to do a better job because they have less duties to perform, so they can move them outside of the townships to perform those.
Who's going to pay for it?
He said it's like it's all a wash. Just
but who?
Reassign where they're working.
This does not, and again, if we're going to say out, like, it's just they never say the thing out loud. Just say it out loud, Senator Young. We think the people and the stuff in downtown is more important than the rest of the city of Indianapolis. Okay, great. Let's have the conversation.
One of the reasons I asked you, okay, where is this Indianapolis mile that he's talking about? Does it include the State House? Yes, it does.
Of course. Okay, now we're being honest brokers with each other, where the lives of the people in downtown, because of all the money they generate, are more important than the people on the east side. Okay, great. Let's have the conversation. Now we can have that. But it's just all this, we just dance around the issue at play here.
He's saying we don't have to take any money out of the budget to do it, and we won't have to have anyone outside of the mile square actually have to pay for it.
So is the money fairy just going to leave pallets of cash for this new layer? Have we ever formed a new layer of government that didn't cost anyone anything? Kev Casey has a new layer of government,
Silly Rob,
which has, I guess, elections and people voting, and that's not going to cost anyone anything.
These are the law enforcement changes that he's proposing. So the Indiana State Police would become the primary law enforcement agency for this area.
Okay, where are those officers going to come from? Are we pulling people off the highways and byways?
Yes, correct. They would just be reassigned.
So there's now fewer people policing the rest of the state. Okay, now we're having an honest conversation here. We're screwing everyone else because Hogsett and Mears can't get their act together, and we think these people's lives are more important than the rest of the state. Okay, good. Now we're having the conversation.
There's more. The Attorney General would prosecute crimes in the district, not Ryan Mears.
The Attorney General doesn't have any... Rokita made that very clear with Diego. He doesn't have any criminal authority. But now we're going to give him... So, hey...
Just to prosecute crimes in the district.
So
that would include the State House, though.
So, okay, so Todd Rokita, if indeed he is still the... if he indeed is still the Attorney General, is going to, let's say it's because Young is going to be prosecuting all those marijuana offenses. He's going to be prosecuting dime bags? Todd Rokita for the prosecution. Really?
But did you hear what I said? The Attorney General then would be able to prosecute crimes in the district. Within the district is the State House.
Yes.
And all those people who work there and do what they do there.
Oh, that's a great point.
Yes!
Oh, Rokita might
You're
actually
getting it.
No, that is...
I just saw the light bulb.
Settled.
You're on board now.
Yes, do it. Green light it. Go.
Another law enforcement change that he's proposing is that the Indianapolis Fire Department Station 13 would be transferred to state control. It would be part of the Department of Homeland Security.
I don't even care about any of this now. If we can start prosecuting people in the State House... Although that would involve Rokita having to do it. We've seen who he's given money to, so I have no faith in that. But, if we could start prosecuting the people in the State House, and all it takes is a pin from the Attorney General, we get somebody decent in there. Yeah.
So now, State Rep Andrew Ireland, he says that he wants lawmakers to consider giving the General Assembly the power to impeach prosecutors and judges who fail to enforce state law.
I don't realistically think, and I know we got to get to a break, I just don't think this is going to change until the city of Indianapolis, the people here, demand that it changes. And that means you got to start electing better people.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
This is the soundtrack of summer.
Some memories last forever.
A cow says...
Some memories thrill.
This is a roller coaster.
Some memories chill.
Listen to the lemon shake-up.
And new memories are waiting at your Indiana State Fair. Presented by Get Prepared Indiana. Save now on discounted tickets.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Picking up with peace talks again. You've got mostly sunny skies in the Circle City. It's currently 75. I'm Jarrett Lewis for Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 10:31. Ukraine's president says a new round of peace talks with Russia will take place this week.
Peace talks between Ukraine and Russia, the first in 7 weeks, are planned for Wednesday in Turkey, according to Ukrainian President Zelensky. The Kremlin said it was waiting for confirmation of the timing, but also said the two sides were diametrically opposed in their positions on how to end the war. Ukraine has backed U.S. calls for an immediate ceasefire. Moscow says certain arrangements must be put in place before a ceasefire can be introduced. Russian forces have launched sustained attacks on Ukrainian cities in recent weeks, including missiles and hundreds of drones on Monday night. Ukraine has launched long-range drone attacks.
Fox's Greg Palkut reporting. Trump administration officials are urging countries to seek trade agreements before new tariffs take effect on August 1st. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Fox Business Mornings with Maria discussed the impending tariff deal.
What I think will happen is that the tariff level will boomerang back to the reciprocal level from April 2nd. That doesn't mean we can't negotiate when the countries are at the higher level.
While the administration claims August 1st is the deadline, the last few tariff dates have all been postponed. This comes as companies like Walmart are warning that consumers will see higher prices going forward. President Donald Trump pulling the U.S. out of the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. That announcement came this morning. Trump cited the agency's backing of woke social causes as the main reason for exiting. And the creators of South Park have reached a $1.5 billion streaming deal with Paramount for the next 5 years. The deal includes creating 10 new episodes per year. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
I've had my Window Nation windows installed for a couple of years now, and my air conditioner is no longer working overtime in the summer. These are the dog days of summer, but if your windows are old and drafty, time for some new Window Nation windows. Check it out, 50% off all Windows styles plus 0 interest for 5 whole years. All the details at windownation.com.
And when Window Nation comes out to your house, they are bringing the best of the best. A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and their staff, years of experience. And look, when we have a heat wave like we had recently, I think you understand how important it is to have good windows that keep the blistering hot out and your perfect climate inside. 50% off all window styles. Any style at all, 0 interest until 2030. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling may seem familiar to you, and that's because they are. They're trusted local family-owned businesses going back 3 generations in Indy with their familiar orange logo and a name you know. But you may not know they'll pay you cash for your scrap metal. Cash is king. Your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, and brass will get you cash from Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Just drop it off or schedule a pickup, and you'll put cash in your pocket. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Local names you can trust with 2 locations.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Get cash for your scrap. Get started at farnsworthmetals.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick. Destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse is now open and ready to serve you. Whether you're buying jewelry or selling jewelry, PA Jewelers has got you covered. One-of-a-kind pieces, vintage pieces. Make an appointment, sit down with them in the buy room, and find out how you can get that special piece made just for you. Easy to get to in Brownsburg. See everything they have to offer in a no-pressure environment. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse, now open in Brownsburg. 317-456-4010. That's 456-4010. Or online at pajewelers.jewelry. pajewelers.jewelry.
Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's family-owned jewelry store, is dedicated to quality and fine craftsmanship. Let them help you celebrate that special moment in your life. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Okay, we got to provide an update on something we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
It turns out that thing is real, and it's spectacular.
Uh-huh. What thing?
Okay, so if you missed yesterday's show, I posed the question. Somebody had brought to my attention, there is some sort of Facebook group.
Yeah. Are we dating the same guy?
That's the actual name of the group, in which women can get on there under and I guess men, I don't know, are men allowed to participate too, or is it
No,
just?
I don't believe so.
Oh, you can't?
No,
What if you're a man dating the same man? Do you not have the right to know?
It's a different group altogether.
Oh, it's a different group. Okay, so it's just for women. So if you're a woman, you can get on there under some sort of anonymous screen name. However, you told me there's some sort of vetting process so that people just are supposed, there's an admin of some sort who knows who all the top secret names
Somebody
are.
goes and verifies before you get approval to post.
Okay.
By the way, my handle's Big Booty Judy.
Yes.
It's not.
The names in the thing in which I sent you appeared to just be a bunch of digits, right? The thing that I sent you.
Yeah, it was like anonymous user.
Yeah.
TK421.
But you were telling me there is some great and powerful Oz who knows who these people are and verifies that they're legitimate human beings. And
Allegedly.
Okay.
Yes.
And they had posted someone that I know was allegedly engaged in some sort of social interaction with multiple women. And then what had given me pause, though, was that the picture they were using was from one of these dating sites. And so then I thought, okay, how do we even know that's
the person? What if someone is? Have they met this guy in person?
Yeah.
Are they both interacting on this dating site? How do you even know this is this person? Could I create an account on said dating site pretending to be Kevin McNamara?
Right.
Like, what is the vetting of this? This seems like there could be some red flags. Maybe I'm being set up for some sort of stooge test.
Right. But you found out.
Then I found out through multiple third parties who apparently have investigated this and confirmed that, I mean, there's a variety. I can't even begin to go into the story because I don't want this person to be outed. I don't think they've actually done anything worth outing, whatever. But indeed, yes, that is correct, that they had caught, it appears, this person.
That person was, in fact,
engaging in
with multiple
but I don't
dates.
But I don't think it's as clear. This is the thing. I don't think it's as clear cut as people like lead it to, and I don't even know how to say it without potentially outing the person. I'm not going to do that to them, even though they probably deserve it. But that turns out that website appears to be very legitimate, a way of tracking who's dating who,
right?
Or at least somewhat reputable. I don't know.
Exactly. So this is just a lesson. If you don't have the "we're exclusive" conversation,
well, you
could be checked on.
This was my question. Okay, so this is through my mind. Okay, this person, I believe, would be new to the market or the field of play or whatever, Kevin, you guys call this thing now. And do you have to on the first date, Kevin, do you have to say, now this is not, I'm not exclusively engaging in social interaction with you? Do you have to spell that out? I mean, unless there's a perception that you are exclusive, do you have to spell out that it's not? I mean, why are we on the website?
Kevin, do people still ask, do you want to be my girlfriend? Do you want to be my boyfriend?
Yeah, I feel like the conversation happens eventually.
The first meeting,
not on the first date, though.
So that's my point.
Yeah, so like you don't have to, you shouldn't assume that you're exclusive unless you have the talk.
Because then I was even thinking, well, what if they're not just meeting, but engaging in some sort of interpersonal interaction? But then even that, don't you have to have that conversation? And if you don't have that conversation, then does that make you a bad guy if you're engaging in the stuff with other people? If there's not the "we're exclusive" conversation, should you be outed on the internet unless you're promising some sort of, you and only you, baby, forever and ever type of thing? Do you deserve to be outed on the internet?
Probably not, unless it's been a while.
Right.
Like if you've played Chutes and Ladders multiple times.
What?
If you've played Chutes and Ladders.
What is that?
It's a board game.
Oh.
If you've done that multiple times.
What is it? What's the premise of the game?
It's like Candyland with Chutes and Ladders.
Okay.
If you've done that multiple times.
Never played Candyland either. What is that?
Seriously? Have you ever played Monopoly?
I have played Monopoly.
Okay, if you've played Monopoly multiple times.
I thought you were just picking like a specific game for a reason. I didn't know. You're just picking random board games.
Yes.
Very good. It could have been Hungry Hungry Hippo
Right.
Okay.
If you've played Hungry Hungry Hippo many times, you might start to assume that you're exclusive.
Oh, I gotcha. So you're saying, is there a number? I
don't know.
Is there a number? Kevin, you're in this world. What's the number? How many transactions have to take place before you're assuming that you're the only bank you're banking with? Like, what's the number?
It depends, I guess, but
you don't have the right if you choose to hop into the Saccarino with some guy on the first or second date and you don't have this conversation, you don't have any right to declare that guy's the only guy.
Right.
Now, that may make you mad, but I don't think that guy should get outed on the internet.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of situationships, as they call it nowadays.
Thank you.
It's, it's pretty loose.
I think maybe it's a check and balance for the ladies. Like, okay, before I get my heart set on this fella, I have to make sure that he's looking only at me as well.
But then you got to ask.
You got to ask him, not the internet.
Keep your underwear on until you ask and get an answer. How about that? I mean, right? I mean, like, isn't that just that simple? Just keep your underwear on until you get an answer.
Until you know. Why you got to go sleuthing around?
And then even if you know, do you really know? See, this is why.
No, you never know.
Exactly. See, this is why I came up with years ago what I play off the Kevin Bacon thing when I called the 6 degrees of separation, which is I got to talk. Well, I don't have to talk to anybody now, but back in the day, you used to have to talk to 6 people that knew the person that I was pondering transactional encounters with. And I always said the averages are if you talk to 6 people, if there's anything to know, because we are a gossipy society, then you're going to know it from 6 people. And if you've been through a 6-person vetting process, then your chances of whatever you're about to engage with are more on the level.
How do you get through that vetting process if it's somebody that you just met from a dating app? Like, you don't know their friend group, you haven't met anybody they work with.
I'm talking about like when you actually used to do real work. Like Facebook used to be a dating site. See, the death of Facebook has been one of the worst things for humanity because originally Facebook was predominantly college kids, and it was predominantly everybody knew why they were there. It was to see, are you hot or not? And I'm going to slide in your DMs, and I'm going to tell you some story, either too rich to believe or a sob or whatever I think you need to feel to engage in getting to know me. And then you knew you could tell based on who the mutual friends were and then work off of that. I have no idea on the things now. I don't know. Kevin, how would you do that? You don't know who their friends are.
Yeah, true. You're just meeting a bunch of randoms.
Do you use real names on these?
Well,
could I find you on Facebook?
I feel like most of the time it's real names, but there's a lot of fake.
Do
names
you go
too.
by Kevin or is it Gerald?
I use my real name.
You
but
do
I
use
think
your real name.
Women are more common for them to use fake names.
Stage names. See that? But again, if you go on a date with someone and you can just keep your underwear on, you should be able to learn their actual name, which means then you can do the thing. You just got to have a little more patience than you used to have.
Well, maybe not keeping the underwear on was the entire goal of the date.
Well, then you don't get to
being
complain.
homosexual.
All right, to the break we go.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, who decided that Hunter Biden should do interviews? But my gosh, is it amazing. That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC. Indiana summer storms are rolling in, and if you're like me, you're not climbing up on your roof to check for damage. That's why you call Moss Roofing. Family owned. Right here in central Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you something hard to find these days. Honest work and peace of mind. They offer free inspections, and I mean a real thorough checkup of your roof, your siding, your gutters, and your windows. If there's storm damage, they'll show you the photos, explain everything clearly and thoroughly, and even work with your insurance company for you. No stress, no pressure, just real professionals doing the job right every single time. Protect your home and avoid bigger problems later. Call Moss Roofing today. 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Family owned, Moss Roofing. 747-3665 or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping us to another record year. We recently saved a 62-year-old retiring couple over $800 monthly when compared to their COBRA offerings. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 monthly when compared to their $7,500 deductible program on the ACA, and you know that's still Obamacare. We recently saved a small 4-man manufacturing company over $1,000 monthly and gave them better coverage. We feature coverages guaranteed to age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. If you are retiring early, self-employed, or need coverage for your small group, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. What do you got to lose? Call us 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. As always, God bless America, common sense government, and peace too strict.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-962-2403. 800-962-2403. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-962-2403.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. For service today? Today.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda of Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Who needs a lake when you can lease a 2025 HRV LX all-wheel drive for $329 a month and 0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda of Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake.
Visit us off State Road 37 for special pricing during our summer sales event. With approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only, not combinable with other offers. All fees due at signing. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends July 31st. See dealer for details.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. And they come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
Do you need air conditioning service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like Reinhardt Heating and Cooling? Find that American Standard air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Less than 3 weeks until the golf outing powered by Franciscan Health. Join us Thursday, August 7th at the Legends Golf Club in Franklin for a perfect day on the course with your crew. Easy swings, cold drinks, and good vibes. Spots are going fast at 1075thefan.com.
You are that they're trying to save Colbert.
It's kind of bothering me. It's being reported that Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, and Jon Stewart, they're all going to appear on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. And
who is it?
Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, and Jon Stewart.
Oh, the other hosts.
The other hosts, okay. Right. They're going to show solidarity with him for his show being canceled. Not to entertain you, not to inform you, but just to mourn the loss of their own influence. But why are they so outraged? This guy made millions of dollars. He can ride off to the sunset and have a wonderful fall of his life.
Because they're next. They know, like it's hitting home. Like this is over. It's over. Like people don't want it. They don't like it. They don't like you. They know they're probably next. So they're trying to show some sort of, hey, we're all in it together. Mm-hmm. When the reality is that show lost a lot of money. Mm-hmm. The advertisers were not supporting it. People were not watching it. And again, let's face it, network television mostly dead. Network television, mostly a thing of the past.
Yeah, with the exception of sports and some local news.
Yes, because, it's like our WIBC does extremely well. You look at the ratings, you look at the numbers. We are one of the few radio stations out there that is not crack the code is not the right message, but in terms of a radio industry, which continues to have one of the few radio stations out there that is the right struggles, we do very well because we give the people what they want. And yeah, we're competing against podcasting that can be more edgy. We're competing against satellite radio, which can be more edgy.
one of the reasons we do so well is we bring people local stuff that they can't get anywhere else, and commentary on it because of the way we view the world and the way we view these people that they can't get anywhere else. So they'll keep tuning in. But network television, other than sports, one-off type events, and to some extent the local news, they're not giving people that anymore. So they're not tuning in. And in a world, I mean, you're old enough to remember. Late night comedy used to be the thing, right? What's Carson going to say tonight? Yeah. But even to the extent for my generation,
it was Letterman.
It was the battle of Letterman and Leno. Who, whose side are you on? It's Coke and Pepsi. Oh, did you see who so-and-so had on? Just nobody cares anymore. We're so connected into the world. Like, Kev will appreciate this. There was a time where you might tape the late night show, even if you weren't a late night fan, because my favorite band is going to be on tonight. Oh, boy, I can't wait. You used to do that. You see your band all the time. Every concert is on YouTube. That's just not. There's nothing they're offering anymore. It's like the fax machine. It's something from a bygone era.
Yeah, and the guests would just be on there pushing their latest project. And the other thing is, like, Colbert had like 20 writers on his staff, and they still couldn't get the eyeballs.
Yeah, and do you think about who's more funny, Shane Gillis or Stephen Colbert? Who's more funny, Dave Chappelle or Stephen Colbert? There's all these Theo Vaughn or Theo Vaughn Kev, doesn't he just like sit at his house or something and talk to people?
Yeah, but he's naturally funny and so it's effortless for him. Colbert tries too hard.
He's not a natural a-hole. And for so many years, guys of his generation, no, you're laughing, that's the truth. They came up in the system anointed the next guy. He was connected to Stewart. He becomes the next guy. I can behave or do whatever I want. People just think I'm funny. No, it's not how it works anymore. People have options. You're right. Theo Vaughn's a super cool, hyper likable dude who talks about stuff in normal ways that people want to see. So thus he's going to blow Colbert out.
Think about that. You've got him. He might have one or two people helping him switch, on his podcast. Compare that, shoestring budget compared to the millions that they sunk into the Late Show.
Authenticity is the key. We do a #1 rated radio program in which over 50,000 people a day tune in to hear this program, and it's you and it's me and it's Kev. Right? It's just us. A couple of cackling hens, making it up as we go along because we're authentic. Every word that comes out is we don't need a bunch of time to prepare. We need 20 people to write for us. We don't need somebody booking all the gas. Like it's just real. Those guys are not real. The whole thing is ridiculous. It's losing money. Adios. I hope they all go with him. Fallon, Kimmel, all of them out of here.
They're saying goodbye. You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
You hear that? That's Mike, sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZQL Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
When you're high, you feel different. But if you feel different, you drive different. So don't drive high. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Visit redcrossblood.org today.
It takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Visit liveunited.org to learn how you can help.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
You remember that ball game we went to a couple years ago?
Sure.
And how you didn't have enough cash for 2 hot dogs, so you walked with me on your shoulders until we found an ATM? And then when we got back to our seats, we never saw the hot dog guy again.
Well, I don't remember all that.
Yeah, that was an awesome game.
You never know which moments will be the ones they'll remember forever. So take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Congratulations, here's your rate, unless you want to come and negotiate. And again, no one creates leverage like President Trump.
Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney is thanking the president for a commitment to uncover the truth in the Jeffrey Epstein controversy after the Justice Department announced a plan to talk to Maxwell about the case. She was convicted of helping Epstein in a sex trafficking scheme involving underage girls after Epstein committed suicide in jail awaiting trial. Many Trump supporters have upset the president, demanding all the files be released, not believing an FBI conclusion the Deputy Attorney General reiterated this morning is accurate, that Epstein did not leave behind a client list. The president calls it all a hoax perpetrated by Democrats who joined the call for all the files to be released.
The right thing to do is to present the facts and the evidence to the American people so that they can make an informed decision.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Some Republicans are pushing for a resolution as well to call for an Epstein document release, but that's stalled in Congress, prompting a new plan for the House to go into its August recess starting tomorrow. Meanwhile, Fox's Jared Halpern reports from the White House.
The Democratic National Committee posted billboards near hospitals in Silex, Missouri, Stillwell, Oklahoma, and Missoula, Montana, blaming cuts on President Trump and Republican support for the One Big Beautiful Bill. A statement from the DNC says the billboards are to make sure rural voters know who is responsible for gutting rural health care.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Showing signs of improvement downtown. It's sunny and 77 on Monument Circle. The high today, 87. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:02. 0 curfew violations downtown last weekend, and Indy Metro Police credit teamwork and clear messaging. Ryan Hedrick has more.
That's what's called proactive, problem-oriented policing.
That's Indy FOP President Rick Snyder speaking with WIBC's Hammer and Nigel about successful state curfew enforcement efforts last weekend. He said the efforts were supported by collaboration with groups like the 10-Point Coalition.
It's the reason why we advocated so hard for them to be put back in the equation is because it works.
And this effort comes weeks after 2 teenagers were shot shot and killed in downtown Indianapolis. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A man is now facing murder charges in connection to the fatal Southside bar shooting from last week, and prosecutors are citing racial slurs during the attack, too. According to a probable cause affidavit out this morning, police were able to identify 25-year-old Caden Douglas as the suspect through security camera footage at the Mucky Duck Pub. There, officers found 36-year-old Jeremy Dillingham shot in the parking lot. He later died at the hospital. Witnesses told police they heard Douglas use racial slurs at Dillingham at the bar. Douglas claimed self-defense in the shooting. The state is getting new license plates. The blackout version will be available for drivers to purchase starting August 8th. The $45 annual fee for those plates will go to enhance BMV services. Tomorrow starts training camp for the Indianapolis Colts. New defensive back Travarius Ward says the Colts defense will be special this year.
Because I think we got great players at each level of the defense. On the D-line, secondary, they brought in me and Cam. You know, they already had Kenny, got some young guys, Juju. I feel like we got great potential, but we just got to put in the work and, enjoy the fruits of our labor.
The Colts will go at it for 2 weeks leading up to their first preseason game, which is against the Baltimore Ravens. And Fever guard Kelsey Mitchell says with the second half of the season upon them, the team has to be on their A game and limit their mistakes.
I think this is about grit now, so there's no more time. And so hopefully a lot of the L's that we took mentally, physically, literally, it's different. Hopefully that we looked at it for what it was and it don't happen again.
The team faces the New York Liberty this evening as they resume the WNBA season. Caitlin Clark is out tonight as she continues to deal with an injured groin. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numbness, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Matt Schulke, chiropractic neurologist and board certified in neuropathy. What is neuropathy?
Neuropathy is nerve damage in the feet or hands.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
Absolutely, and we get amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, pain, or balance issues, call Dr. Schulke today for a free nerve damage screening. This screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for their specialized treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Simply call 463-400-3338. Act now. Call 463-400-3338 for your free nerve damage screening. 463-400-3338.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers and Carmel, designers of fine custom jewelry.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
You know, sometimes I think we fail to see the positive in things, Casey.
Oh, yeah?
I think this is a great example we're about to talk about. If Hunter Biden can make it,
anyone can?
Anyone can make it.
Make what? What is he making?
Make money, lots and lots of money.
Yeah, so he did multiple interviews yesterday. One was an online interview with Andrew Gallagher of Channel 5, and he had some strong language, and he was very critical of a lot of people within the Democrat Party. So you have to ask yourself, why was he doing this? One, vengeance. Two, it was the anniversary of the auto pen dropping out of the presidential race, also known as his father. But three, is he trying to get himself a gig somewhere? I heard people saying, oh, I think we found our answer to the Democrats' version of Joe Rogan. Okay.
Hunter Biden?
Yeah, no. He'd probably be closer to Alex Jones. But is he trying to get a gig? Is he trying to come up with a podcast? Who would hire him? Is that something he's going to have to do on his own?
Whoa.
Yeah.
You're saying to me like legitimate people? Was this just some egg with a bunch of numbers on the internet, or was this like a legitimate person?
No, this was a talking head on a TV show last night.
That Hunter Biden would be the equivalent of Joe Rogan?
Correct.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Obviously, this person was very biased, and they were
Also delusional.
very pro-Hunter because the person they were arguing with, who was also on their side, was saying no. Like, he did not represent our party well. He and his entire family just need to go, disappear, and retire from public eye.
Isn't it interesting? Like, are you all right?
Yeah, I just fell there on the chair.
I thought you did too. I make sure you're okay there. I thought my eyes maybe were deceiving me.
My elbow missed the
Casey
armrest.
almost completely fell out of her chair there. Like, that's who you're rolling out?
Mm-hmm.
That's the face?
But that's
the wacky, goofy drug addict son?
I don't know if they or anyone was rolling him out. He was choosing to come out from under the rock.
That's a good point. I guess, he can go wherever he wants, and if you're in those circles that, heck, the guy, who knows what he's do or say.
I mean, you got to think of it from the host perspective. If Hunter Biden called you today or tomorrow and said, hey, Rob, I want to be on the show, you'd be like, oh, boy. But you'd have him on. Because you'd be like, what is he going to say?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that is a good point. But, okay, it comes back to, how does he make money now, though, because he has nothing to offer anybody?
Right.
Clearly.
So that's what people are saying. Like, is he trying to put himself out there to...
But for what? Like, for who? The liberal media thing has been tried so many times. Has it ever worked? I'm sure you remember this. Remember in the early 2000s, it was the Air America. Air America is going to be we're going to put that on all these different radio stations, and it's going to be liberal talk, and there's all these people out there that desperately want liberal talk. How did Air America go?
Not so well. Right.
And then, it was going to be MSNBC, and it was going to be, then CNN went hard left. And look, when Trump was president the first time, MSNBC and CNN did okay because of the rage people. But other than that, it's just essentially been years of various levels of dumpster fire. People do not want liberal talk media. They do not want it. They do not consume it in mass. It does not consistently make money.
One of the things that he was doing in his colorful, flowery language was condemning the Democratic establishment, and he was taking everyone to task.
Opinions, but him and everybody around him. I don't have to be nice. Number one, I agree with Quentin Tarantino. George Clooney is not a actor. He is a I don't know what he is. He's a brand. And by the way, and God bless him. You know what? He supposedly treats his friends really well. You know what I mean? Buys them things. And he's got a really great place in Lake Como. And he's great friends with Barack Obama. You, what do you have to do with anything? Why do I have to listen to you? What right do you have to step on a man who's given 52 years of his life to the service of this country and decide that you, George Clooney, are going to take out basically a full-page ad in the New York Times to me and James Carville, who hasn't run a race in 40 years, and David Axelrod, who had one success in his political life, and that was Barack Obama. And that was because of Barack Obama, not because of David Axelrod. And David Plouffe, and all of these guys, and the Pod Save America guys, who were junior speechwriters on Barack Obama's Senate staff, who have been dining out on the relationship with him for years, making millions of dollars. The Anita Dunns of the world, who's made $40-50 million off the Democratic Party. They're all going to insert their judgment over a man who has figured out, unlike anybody else, how to get elected to the United States Senate over 7 times, how to pass more legislation than any president in history, how to have a better midterm election than anybody in history, and how to garner more votes than any president that has ever run. And they're going to replace their judgment for his. Not to mention... Who's Jake Tapper's audience? Jake Tapper? My mom or something? I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Okay, a couple things. One, the old man didn't have to quit. He chose because he knew he couldn't say his name probably correctly half the time. Talking to dead people, can't walk off the stage. They forced him out because they couldn't cover it up anymore. They did everything for that guy to cover him and whatever thing he had going on up.
Right, but according to Hunter Biden, that was Nancy Pelosi's decision.
And think about what he's saying, and the language is ridiculous, and of course you can't even just do an interview. Hey, I'm so reformed, look at me, and then you can't even do an interview without just dropping 37 F-bombs.
Did you keep track? Is that how many it was?
Poor Kevin. Good job, Kevin. The idea of like, okay, your dad, he was elected to the U.S. Senate 7 times, as though that's some sort of noble endeavor. Hey, congratulations, you spent 40 years grifting off other people. And by the way, you're in a liberal state. It's not like you were some revered institutionalist who was winning in swing states. Delaware's a liberal state. Once you won once, you're in for good, dude. Right? Like that's your dad's whole life. He wasn't Mother Teresa. He wasn't serving the Salvation Army.
And Hunter Biden saying, service to his country, like Joe Biden did some honorable service.
To himself. The whole Biden thing was about...
If that was your kid, how... And his dad has prostate cancer. How mad would you be at your kid?
Well, they probably sent him out there, though, because who else is going to defend Joe Biden? They probably told him, go out there and do it, because who else is going to say that? Any person with any reasonable level of intelligence goes, that guy was mentally shot, physically shot. He had no business not being under, permanent supervision, and much less running the country. And who else at this point would you send out to try to defend him other than the guy who was the biggest beneficiary of the whole grift of them all?
He was also praising Kamala Harris. He was talking about the laptop from hell, and he was also suggesting that the U.S. should invade El Salvador. One thing they touched on was the investigation of the cocaine that was found at the White House.
They're opening up an investigation to cocaine that was found in a cubby outside the West Wing of the White House.
I think it was Don Jr.? Yeah. Oh, you're talking about old White House?
Yeah, when my dad was there.
Oh, so they just got to blame you automatically.
Yeah, I mean, they're literally going to do an FBI, another congressional investigation, because they've convinced themselves that it had to be me, that there was a little tiny. And I guess my point of even bringing it up is that no. I have been clean and sober since June of 2019, and I have not touched a drop of alcohol or a drug, and I'm incredibly, incredibly proud of that.
And why would you bring cocaine to the White House?
Why would I bring cocaine to the White House, stick it into a cubby outside the Situation Room in the West Wing? Yeah. When I wasn't...
So, first of all, I'm going to have this conversation with you. No offense, Kevin. Casey, you ever done cocaine?
No.
Now ask me.
Have you ever done cocaine?
No, absolutely not. Now,
right.
If someone were to bring a bag of cocaine into this greater workplace area, you and I could both go, that's utterly ridiculous that you would accuse me of doing cocaine. I've never done any drugs, marijuana, none of it, right? Hey, you know my feeling on that. Your life, you do you, whatever. But me, no. So if you try to accuse me of it, I might not even know what it is, right? Much less how to use it or whatever.
Like, is that powdered sugar? We're going to put that on a dessert?
This guy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the prime suspect.
Right.
Sorry. Lifetime of choices have consequences.
There's a little bit of a history there.
He acts like, I can't believe they would finger me.
Of course they're going to blame me. You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
All right. Real quick. When we come back, we have a special guest. David Shelton's going to be with us. He is the Knox County Clerk. He's also running for Secretary of State. There is a new law out that it is affecting most of our local elected officials in the state of Indiana. It's designed to increase transparency. Some people may not even know it's a thing, and he's upset because the top cop, when it comes to elections, the Secretary of State, he doesn't believe is enforcing the law.
All right, he's going to join us next on 93 WIBC.
Historic flooding.
This is a 100-year catastrophe.
Lives shattered.
Dedicated, searching for every single one of the children.
It's horrible. I have grandchildren that I couldn't imagine them flowing down a river.
Support Texas flood relief efforts by going to SALArmyEDS.org. Whatever you can spare will help.
It is undescribable and catastrophic.
From 93.
This is a national emergency.
WIBC.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
It's National Carpet Cleaning Month, and Zero Res is celebrating. Get 3 rooms Zero Resified and get 1 room free and $50 off air duct cleaning too. ZeroResIndy.com.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops. Really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joyner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in Central Indiana, and the best place to start is JoynerHomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joyner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes, and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joyner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at JoynerHomes.com.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZzzQuil Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
He's coming. He's coming. Here he comes.
Surprise! Your table saw broke. Also, the warranty expired weeks ago, so you need to pay for a new one out of pocket.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Oh, and the replacement part you ordered doesn't fit, so it's completely useless.
What a waste.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
So there's a new law that requires local elected officials to be more transparent. And our next guest is concerned that the top cop when it comes to elections may not be enforcing the law. It's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob Casey's here. Look who it is. He's our old pal. He's the clerk of Knox County. He's running for Secretary of State in the state of Indiana. He is Mr. Competent David Shelton. Hello.
Good morning.
All right, so you sent out this press release. I thought this was fascinating. Let's start with this. There's a new law that affects many local elected officials across the state. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's a new law that affects the vast majority, I'd say at least 80, if not 90% of all elected officials. If you hold a position that pays over $5,000 per year, you're now required to have an open campaign finance committee.
For your government position?
Correct.
Okay, so like if you're a town councilman or a city councilor or a mayor and you make more than $5,000 in that position, you've got to keep your campaign finance open.
Correct. And you also have to file annual campaign finance reporting as well.
And you used to not have to do that.
That's correct.
You could shut your committee down.
And I advised all my local candidates once the election was over, shut it down so you don't have to do annual reporting because most of them, they're not fundraising in the 3 years they're not running for office.
And that was me, right? I knew I was running one time and that's it. And so I was, election's over, won the thing. Goodbye, have a good day. This is one less thing I've got to deal with because if you have a campaign account open with money in it, you got to file this form every year, right?
That's correct.
So the law changed.
Yes, it did.
And what does the law say now?
The law says you now have to have an open campaign finance committee and you must file annual reporting.
Okay, and what is the goal of that? Like, do you get a semblance of what the goal on that is? Because, like, for someone like me, Wasn't running again. There was nothing for me to report. There was why would I need to have a campaign finance committee open if I'm not raising any money?
It's all about transparency. The people want to know what their elected officials are doing, how they're raising money, who they're getting money from. So they want to keep tabs on everything, and I'm all for it.
Now, this is a big deal because I've talked to multiple elected officials who said like their town attorney or their city attorney sent them some sort of update, said, hey, you got to reminder, you got to do this now because they're not used to doing it.
Correct.
Now, this is where the press release you sent out comes in. By the way, David Shelton is our guest. He's running for Secretary of State. The Sullivan County, Indiana Republican Party. I'll just read. This is from your press release, correct? And this was, I believe, a Facebook screenshot that you guys grabbed.
Correct.
This is from the Sullivan County, Indiana Republican Party. Thank you, Diego Morales, for your phone call this morning with the important information regarding the new legislation on CFA 1. Secretary of State Morales has allowed those that weren't aware of the changes a few more days to file your campaign finance report.
He doesn't have the authority to do that. That would be a change in legislation. He is either grossly misunderstands election law or he's simply pandering or a combination thereof.
Okay, do you know for sure this happened? I mean, obviously they put it out, they being the Sullivan County Republican Party, but did he actually say that? Like, that's fine, just a couple more days will be fine.
So my first call when I first saw that was to call the Sullivan County clerk to give her heads up on what was going on. She was aware of it. She'd already made calls to the Secretary of State's office, and they did not deny that was said.
So the Secretary of State's office themselves
did not deny that was said.
Okay. I mean, there's nothing really that surprises us anymore when it comes to Diego Morales, the Secretary of State. But they are basically essentially admitting. It's not like they said, "Oh, David, you get out of here. We never say that." They were basically admitting to you, "Yeah, we just said these people don't have to follow the law."
Well, I'm getting that secondhand from the clerk there, but that's what I was told.
Okay, so let's work through this because we're reasonable people here, right, Casey?
Try to be.
All right. A couple years ago, Connie Lawson and Eric Holcomb just waltzed out. Connie Lawson, the former Secretary of State, and Eric Holcomb, and just said, "Well, we're changing Election Day." Remember that during COVID?
I do remember that.
Did they have the power to do that?
No, that should have been an act of legislation.
Okay, so I'm not the last person trying to defend Diego, but maybe
precedent.
What's that?
There was precedent.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, if Diego's like, "Well, these people just changed the election day. Can't I just make up when you can file the form?"
What should have been done, what should have been said is it's incumbent upon your local county election board. They have the power, the authority to waive any kind of fines and fees. Now, fees are not assessed from 12:01 p.m. on that Friday afternoon. You have to have a hearing. You have to determine which elected officials are delinquent on their filings and then hold a public hearing. At that time, like the way I handle it and the way most people should handle it is you notify the elected officials by mail, notify them of an upcoming hearing, or you can say, here's 5 days, get right with the law, and we're done. It's over with. Or if you continue to fail to file this report, then we will look at, assessing fines and fees.
So if I walked in, if I were an elected official, like let's just say I still hadn't filed my form, right? And I walked into my county office and said, "Well, Morales said it's fine." Does that fly? Can I use that?
It doesn't fly, but I'll go back to what I just said. I have to have a hearing. I can ask my election board, a 3-member board, to waive the fines and fees, but, they may see it otherwise. They may say the law is a law. Ignorance is never an excuse to break a law.
David Shelton, he's the candidate for Indiana Secretary of State, is our guest. All right, so you're obviously running for Secretary of State. You have seen Diego's campaign finance report that came out. Many people are talking about it, some of the interesting donations. You have concerns about them.
Well, the out-of-state, international ties to everything is very concerning to me. It's all about election integrity. I'm concerned to the Secretary election integrity is simply a catchphrase. I don't think he knows what it actually means. I live it. I breathe it every day as an election administrator. I've gone after somebody who broke election law, and we were able to obtain a felony conviction a couple years ago. I'm currently going after another one right now where it looks like somebody voted twice in a 2020 election. I'm also seeing other instances where in the past there's been non-citizens registered to vote in my county. There was one particular case. He registered to vote in 2007, voted in 13 elections, and then in April of 2017, his voter registration was canceled. No explanation. I can't just cancel somebody just because I want to. There has to be documented reasons why to do that.
They can't just throw me out from voting?
They can't. And what's really
like
frustrating on this instance is, he cancels registration, last vote in 2016. I just discovered it this last March. Statute of limitations is expired on that because it's only a level 6 felony. I can't do a thing about that. I feel like we in Indiana with our legislators need to really take a serious look at our election laws and increase the penalties thereof. Our elections have been considered critical infrastructure for a number of years. However, the laws don't reflect that. If I went out and shot out a transformer, damaged a transformer or something like that, I'm going to be catching more than a level 6 felony. And this is really frustrating. We have to be serious about our elections, our election integrity, because if the people do not have faith in our elections, how can they have faith in the elected officials?
Diego Morales recently signed an agreement with DHS. Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, that's another example of Diego taking a victory lap on something that was a gimme. This is all related to Trump's executive order from back in March.
The SAVE Act?
Yes, part of that. Well, it was the executive order. And it's a top-down access to the states to help confirm somebody's citizenship status. Now, what it really means is it's a lot of extra work for the county clerks. Diego promoted it that, my office is going to verify everybody's citizenship. No, that's not the case. The truth is when a non-citizen gets driving privileges here in Indiana, they can present anywhere from 35 to 40 different forms of credentials, okay? It'd be a student visa, green card, you can name it, a bunch of them. When these people are issued a temporary credential, is noted in the system because sometimes they go ahead and register to vote. Now, the BMV, they don't register people to vote. They're a pass-through agency. Everything comes to the county clerk. It's up to us to verify their citizenship. So we then have to send a letter to these people who are issued temporary credentials who also applied to register to vote at the same time. They have to, the people have to present actual copies of documentation, whether it be their student visa. I've got the form in my pocket. I could read it off to you if you like. I brought it with me.
Hey, real quick, because we're running short on time here. Like, are we wrong? Like, to our audience, the India trip stuff and the lack of disclosure is a massive deal, and we just kind of want to know what happened. But are we, as our audience, are we the ones out in left field on this by saying, hey, we really want to know who paid for that trip and that you paid it back? I mean, you want to be the Secretary of State. Is it normal to travel in the way he's traveling and doing what he's doing? Are we wrong?
In my opinion, no. You're right on the money right there. You want to know who's having influence over our alleged top election official in the state of Indiana. It's all about election integrity, real integrity. So you need to know who he's going with, what he's doing, why is he there, and what does it have to do with his job?
David Shelton, he is running for Secretary of State. We knew if anybody would understand this new election law about reporting, it would be you, because I feel like you could just recite the election code. Like if I just said start at paragraph 1, page 1, and you could get all the way through it.
Right. I would like to finish up on the executive order and the access with DHS stuff there, if you don't
about
mind.
30
please.
seconds, yeah.
30 seconds, all right. So, they have to provide actual documentations to us. The only form that the citizens does not have to provide an actual document to is if they're a naturalized citizen. Then they can provide us with simply their naturalization number. Only the naturalization number is what the Secretary of State's office would be able to confirm for us if we don't have the actual document in hand.
So long story short, he's not really doing anything.
He's not really doing anything. He's taken a victory lap on something that he's not even qualified for a participation trophy for.
All right, very good. David Shelton, thank you.
Thank you.
It is Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They've charged a suspect. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:30. Announced this morning, 25-year-old Caden Douglas is facing murder charges in connection to a fatal shooting at a Southside Indy bar last week. Prosecutors also claim Douglas was shouting racial slurs at 36-year-old Jeremy Dillingham, who was shot in the parking lot of the Mucky Duck Pub. No curfew violations downtown this past weekend. Indy FOP President Rick Snyder says teamwork with groups like the 10-Point Coalition made a big difference.
This was the time to be tough, swift, and certain. Thankfully, we did that. that?
Snyder told WIBC's Hammer and Nigel on Monday that Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears needs to follow through and prosecute violent offenders. The Indiana Bureau of Motor Vehicles officially unveiled its new blackout plates this week. They'll be available for purchase starting August 8th. The Fever are in Brooklyn tonight to take on the New York Liberty, and Colts players are reporting to training camp at Grand Park in Westfield today. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to 93 WIBC. I'm Matt Bear. I'm excited to have a special guest joining us, Jeff Jr., the founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. What's up, Matt? I hear your connection to Indiana runs pretty deep. Tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. My wife used to live in Indiana, and my father and mother-in-law, they actually live in Kokomo. And my brother-in-law, he lives in Franklin. With so much family here, it was only natural to bring Trajan Wealth to greater Indiana and help all the Hoosiers.
Our country and the Marine Corps. Would you say the Marine Corps helped with the financial business you're in?
Unequivocally, yes. I completely credit the Marine Corps with most all of the intangible qualities, such as leadership, attitude, willingness to learn.
Trajan Wealth is a family-run, veteran-owned financial fiduciary. Call them today, 317-480-4040, 317-480-4040.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Hey guys, Rob for Life Church. They got a big event I'm going to tell you about Saturday, August the 2nd, and it's a men's event. One thing that is true about culture is there's a call out for men to be strong and lead well, and that's why Life Church is having this men's event Saturday, August the 2nd, where you'll hear raw truth from men who've been through the fire. There'll be live worship, opportunities to connect, have fun, and lead with strategies to draw closer to God and become the man he's designed you to be. The cost is just $50, and you can register today, lifechurchin.com. And while you're there, learn about their 4 campuses across central Indiana: Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton, plus great online services, lifechurchin.com.
The deals at Andy Moore Ford just keep on coming. The red, white, and new sales event. Get independence from car payments with no payments for 3 months and enjoy your freedom in the new Ford F-150 Super Crew or that absolutely amazing Ford Mustang with 0% APR financing for 48 months. Save $15,000. That's $15,000 off MSRP on new 2024 F-150s or Expeditions, or buy a new Ford Super Duty truck for under $40,000. Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield is your spot for all the Super Duty trucks. They've got 175 trucks to choose from right there on the lot at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. And with more to your door, simply purchase your vehicle online and they'll deliver it to your door. Andy Moore Ford, 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield, or online at andymoreford.com. That's MOHR. andymoreford.com.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Hi, it's Steve Mann. Have you heard the commercials for the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking seminars? And they said only $49.99 and it could work for you. So I thought, that's not even a week's worth of smoking. So I went. And guess what? It did work for me. You know, my friends and family are still amazed. I quit smoking. I didn't have cravings, anxiety, or weight gain. Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof, and it's 100% guaranteed. So what do you got to lose? I'll tell you what you got to lose. A very bad habit.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking without cravings, irritability, or weight gain. Early bird special only $49.99 guaranteed. Don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all or your money back. Seminar 8 p.m. on Thursday, July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Or 2 p.m. on Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Registration 30 minutes before seminar. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Pierce Jewelers is the best family-owned jewelry store in Carmel. All jewelry and watch repair, appraisals, and custom design are done in-house. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Saw Beck open for U2 at the Lucas Oil. It was kind of an odd opening act.
It's a very random pairing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, Kev is the musician, and he backs me up on that. And I was like, that is, I mean, kind of a one-hit wonder, although I think he had maybe he had two songs that, you know, and obviously that was.
New Pollution was just out. I saw him when he opened up for Third Eye Blind at the Steppen Center on the campus of Notre Dame.
Tell me about the rest of the 60s, young lady.
Nobody knew who he was.
Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty wild because like he did a whole set, and most people are like, "Yeah, we have no idea about any of these songs." And then of course he did this. That was his big hit, and then be like, "Oh yeah, that song, that guy." Bring on Bono. My favorite thing about the U2 concert was we were sitting to where you could see this full stage. We were on the side, and so you could actually see. We were high enough up, you could see around the stage, and you could literally, basically in real time, see those guys after the show. You could see the cars pull up behind the stage with the open area, and you could basically just see these guys sprinting to the airport as as they count their pile of cash from an hour and a half's worth of work.
Did you enjoy the show?
It was fine. It was fine. Those guys, they don't tour a whole lot, and they certainly don't come to Indianapolis. It's like when I went to see the Rolling Stones. I just felt you probably better do it.
Yeah. This could be your own.
I'm not like the world's biggest U2 fan. I've never gotten.
I think I've seen them in concert more than anyone.
U2? No kidding.
Yeah. Because back in the 60s, Rob, we really enjoyed their music.
It was fine. It's like, I just, like, they obviously have some mega hits. I've just never felt like the U2 song book as a collective was all that.
Well, I think you like the lyrics a lot, and I think lyrically, they aren't the most. I mean, Bono's not like a lyricist, really.
Remember when that stupid Vertigo song came out, and they paired up with that was even before the iPhone. It was the iPod or something, and it was everywhere. And this song is great. And I'm like, it's just him counting in Spanish. Like, what are we doing here? Yeah, it's Bono, and people want to think it's cool because it's Bono. And I've just always thought he was a weirdo, and so I don't know. But I felt like I should go because that way then I can say nobody can hold over my head. Well, you never saw U2.
Did they play Sunday Bloody Sunday?
They played all the. I mean, it was. I don't even know if there was an album. This would have been in 2017.
That was after they put their whole album on the iTunes.
Is that what they did?
It was like automatically on everyone's iTouch or something.
Because there was no. I don't remember any new like these are the new songs. They were just basically rolling through the hits, which is fine. That's what everybody wants to see anyway.
Yeah.
But
Where did you see them?
Lucas Oil.
It must have been a great show. I mean, they're pretty good with their stage.
Well, yeah, but you know how I feel about the staging stuff. Like, I just want to see the dude do the thing. Like, I don't need some big light show. I don't need some big catwalk. I don't need glitz and glamour. I don't need fireworks. I don't need sparklers. Like, I'm paying you to watch you do the thing. Now, there's some light show element to any performance, but just shut up and
they
just sing. I haven't found what I'm looking for. Let's go. Come on. All right, let's go.
They do have excellent stage presence.
That's what I'm saying. Like
the 3-man band bothers me though.
They're a 4-man band.
No,
they're 4-man.
Well, I'm saying like no. I'm saying like. But I'm saying like
you don't count Bono.
No. There's a guitar player, there's a bass player, and then the front. I'm saying the front. Like there's no. I just don't feel like there's a lot to their. I mean, they have a lot of sound.
Yeah, because like you're used to Bruce, who has an organ player.
That's what I'm saying.
Like an accordion player.
Yeah.
And
I'm not counting the drummer, which obviously it's a.
Kevin, he's not counting the drummer.
I'm saying in terms of the front stage presence.
Yeah.
Like what they're presenting.
So you're talking about Bono, Edge, and what's the other guy's name? Larry Mullins.
Yeah, Larry Mullins.
Yeah, I just didn't, and because Bono doesn't really do anything. He's not a contributor to. He doesn't play a guitar. He just wanders around.
Right.
Kind of like Mick Jagger was that way. But the Rolling Stones have multiple, even though it's Ron Wood and it's Richards and it was Charlie Watts, who's no longer there. But they have a bunch of other dudes that are playing stuff. And U2, it's just like
the backup band.
Yeah, it's just.
I think the Edge has such a distinctive sound when he plays.
Oh, you're one of those people. He's so cutting
Well, he mastered the use of effects and
groundbreaking.
He was in the 80s.
He looks cool in his beanie.
Their album Boy.
He looks cool.
That was called New Wave back then.
Look at him.
We called it New Wave, Rob.
Even when it's 100 degrees, he's wearing the beanie. And he's always
They were so cute.
He's so stoic when he plays.
Yeah.
Well, the Edge used to have hair in the 80s, right?
I think they all had hair at one point.
They all did.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't even know why. Why did we even get on you two? Oh, Beck.
Yeah, Beck was the opener for YouTube when you saw them.
Sure. Beck led us to YouTube.
Yeah, anyway.
Why not?
There was something you wanted to talk about. What was it? I don't even know what it is.
Was it that Governor Braun wants Indiana to be a national leader in nuclear energy?
Oh, yeah. That's great. That's very uplifting. What's the plan here? What are we doing?
So there was this Purdue study. It identified 8 coal plants in Indiana that they say would be suitable for conversion into small modular reactor plants.
So this is their new thing. They are all in on these SMRs. Now, I believe there are very few, if any, proven successful SMRs that are, powering small cities or anything like that. I mean, they act like this is some sort of settled science, which clearly it must not be, based on the fact that they had to specifically write the law to where that these utility companies get 80% of their research money back, whether they succeed with it or not, and they're banking on this as some foolproof catch-all. This is right around the corner, and I haven't seen any verified sign of that.
So the U.S. Department of Energy currently funding some SMR projects. They include NuScale and also TerraPower. But let's talk about some of the challenges and the concerns, right? Well, obviously, you've got licensing and regulation because nuclear regulatory frameworks, they're still being crafted. You've got the waste disposal. SMRs generate radioactive waste.
Yes, they do, Casey.
So we've got some water.
Would you like that in your backyard?
Discussions. There's obviously the economics. They're more expensive. And you've got the public perception. Still, people have a lot of trust and safety concerns about this. But one of the companies, NuScale, that I mentioned, they have received U.S. regulatory approval. They paused it because it was costing too much money. And TerraPower, the other company that is being funded by the U.S. Department of Energy, it's backed by Bill Gates.
One of the problems with, there's many problems, but one of the major problems with our General Assembly is you find them to be largely very uninquisitive people. And they're mostly just doing whatever the leadership is telling them to do. And so you don't get the deep dive from the regular person. They just vote on whatever is put in front of them. And so as a result, there's no business plan on this. Like the average person would be like, wait, we have to stop. We have to stop getting in front of ourselves, and until we have the plan and the proven plan and the verifiable means to do this, we have to stop approving all of these data centers and all of these other things that are coming, that are requiring all this power. We simply don't have a proven methodology. They're just rushing everything through and then going, yeah, we'll figure it out as we go along. No, you won't figure it out as you go along. I mean, we've had data on this show. What was there a news article that said that we read where it was like 1.5 million homes, like one data center is the equivalent of 1.5 million homes, one of these data centers. I mean, it's a staggering amount of power, and they don't have an answer for it. These data centers, they're giving them these sweetheart deals, so they're not financially, there's not a huge payoff financially, certainly not literally for generations if you look at the way the abatements and stuff are written. And so, like, you say to yourself, what are we doing? Why are we giving everything away? Why are we putting people in this position? Why are we leveraging ourselves? And for what? And they can't provide a clear answer on this, and that's because the General Assembly is not doing the homework. They're not being fighters. They're not going in there and being the pushback that they need to be.
So the plants that were identified by this Purdue study include NIPSCO in Schaefer, the Duke Energy plant in Cayuga, Duke Energy Edwardsport, AES in Petersburg, Hoosier Energy Frankratz, AES Eagle Valley, that's the one here in central Indiana, Clifty Creek, and also Indiana Michigan Power in Rockport.
Do you have any confidence in the government to pull this off?
Wait, ask me again and I'll tell you when to stop.
Do you have any confidence in the government?
Stop.
Thank you.
The answer
Very well done.
is no.
Yes.
Hey, let's talk about license plates when we come back.
Oh, how exciting. There's a new license plate. Okay, and I will ask you a question about why people pay extra money for license plates.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show. Hunter Biden says his dad, Joe, was on Ambien during that disastrous debate against Trump. All the fun starts at 3, 93 WIBC.
Fill your tank. Don't drain your wallet. Sam's Club lets you save time at the pump with Scan and Go checkout at Sam's Club fuel stations. Just scan the QR code on the pump and pay. Visit your local Sam's Club today.
Make summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with our best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, this hot offer ends September 1st. More details at indydecorativeconcrete.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Lately, the market has been making some big moves, and not all in the right direction. If you've been watching the numbers and wondering what it all means for your retirement, you're not alone. At Howard Bailey Financial, we plan for times like this. The truth is, a volatile day on Wall Street can feel a lot different when you're getting closer to retirement. That's why right now is the right time to take a fresh look at your portfolio, and Howard Bailey can help. Are you taking on more risk than you realize? Are you diversified in a way that makes sense for where you are in life? Find out today with the help of our free Market Volatility Guide. Visit retirewithpurpose.com to download your free guide and learn more about what market shifts may mean for you. That's retirewithpurpose.com. Together, let's make sure your plan is built to weather whatever comes next. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
You know, sometimes dealing with home service contractors can be frustrating, whether it's missed appointments, sloppy workmanship, or just a general sense of indifference about helping you. Frustrating hardly describes that experience, Hammer.
And that's why we want to welcome a new advertiser to the Hammer and Nigel family, somebody you're going to be hearing quite a bit about in the coming months, Victor's Home Solutions.
Victor's installs the highest quality roofs available for your home, and they take all those negative stereotypes and turn them on their head.
They start with the basics, prompt, follow-up, showing up to appointments on time. And then they go above and beyond with installation teams that are so skilled, so precise, that Victor's is able to offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install.
5-star customer service and perfect installation. You're going to be really impressed with Victor's. They're the only roofer Hammer and I recommend to our listeners. It all starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. Call 1-866-VICTORS or victors.com.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-948-1659. 800-948-1659.
800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. That's 800-948-1659.
News doesn't wait, and neither should you. Breaking news updates, local headlines, and statewide coverage are always available at WIBC.com. When the news moves fast, we will too. Stay in the know while you're on the go with WIBC.com.
Yes! You know, they're not quite like the overhype, overrated.
I'm listening.
Oh, now here we go. Oh, after 3 years of this, here we go for you. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that Paul Reiser? That is.
On the TV? On the Drew Barrymore show?
On the Drew Barrymore show. I would not have even recognized him. Holy smokes. What was that show he was on? What was the show? Mad About You.
Mad About You.
Mad About You with Helen Hunt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're talking about a guy you haven't seen. I have not seen him.
Come to bed, George. I taped Mad About You.
It's Kendall Casey show.
Wonder what he's up to.
I don't know. He's selling something.
Clearly. There's a reason he's on the Drew Barrymore show.
There must be something.
Got something going on.
Okay. So, by the way, I don't think U2 is quite the overrated, overhyped level of the Beatles. But, I mean...
You think they're up there, though.
Okay, what are the Joshua Tree album was fine. Mm-hmm. What else, though?
What do you mean? What other albums?
Yeah, like what's
Rattle and Hum. You had Octoon Baby.
See, the thing, you had to pause right there. You had to think it through. It's not, it's not just rolling off the top of your tongue.
Who do you think had more hits, U2 or Bruce Springsteen?
Are we talking
pure
albums?
radio hits?
Well, I don't judge people based on whether you can do some snazzy tune to appeal to the lowest common denominator. I'm talking about who sold more albums, who sold more.
So
concert
you mean
tickets.
not like the normal standard that the average person would judge something on?
Yeah, like if you want to lower yourself to, can I jam something into 3 minutes and 30 seconds that's fine.
Okay.
Good for you. I'm saying, how many for a group that is supposedly international mega, you show up and you better be there or your life will be altered if you're not. How many? I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Sunday Bloody Sunday. What's the
Beautiful Day?
Pride in the Name of Love.
Pride in the Name of Love. That's what I was looking for.
In God's Country. With or Without You.
Okay, there's 5. You got 5.
New Year's Day.
I think we already said that, didn't we?
Did you?
Yeah, I think we already said that.
1.
Oh, yeah. Good one, Kevin.
Yeah, I just always thought maybe because Bono is such a weirdo. Maybe that's it.
It's because you don't agree with his politics.
No,
right?
he comes off like an alien person.
You think so?
He doesn't come off as I don't feel like he humans
like
well.
He's not someone you could grab a beer with.
He's not someone who's endearing. I don't feel like Bono understands my struggles. I think that's what it comes down to. I don't feel like Bono understands my struggles.
Rob, I'm not sure anyone understands your struggles. Well, let's be honest. Oh, Desire. There's another one.
What's going on with the license plate?
Okay, so it's blackout. It's the big thing, right? The new design. Indiana officially unveiled the first all-black license plate.
It's all black with white lettering. Now, this is some big deal. I don't understand this at all. And it just looks like it's a money generator. You got to pay, it comes in the Capital Chronicle, annual fee of $45, $45 additional if you want a personalized plate. If you have one now, you can swap your plate for $9.50.
Correct.
But then what, you got to pay $45 every year? Why would people give the government willfully more of their money?
Because that's what the whole design of it is for, a revenue impact, right? So out of the $45, they expect that Indiana will generate $3 million.
But why? Why would you?
First year.
It's ridiculous. You already have to pay for the privilege of going to work, which is what you're doing with a license plate.
$34 going to the BMV Commission, $7 going to the Motor Vehicle Highway account, which is $4.34 going to INDOT, $2.66 going to local governments, and $4 going to the Crossroads 2000 fund.
It's like the mafia. Everybody gets a little taste, right? Like they've got it. They got it all split up on who's going to get what percentage.
You want to be new, hip, and current, you got to get the black license plate.
I wouldn't give willfully the government 7 cents.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for lilistening today.
Sorry about you two. They're fine.
We'll catch you back here tomorrow. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling. A familiar face in
Farnsworth Metal Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling may seem familiar to you, and that's because they are. They're trusted local family-owned businesses going back 3 generations in Indy with their familiar orange logo and a name you know. But you may not know they'll pay you cash for your scrap metal. Cash is king. Your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, and brass will get you cash from Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Just drop it off or schedule a pickup, and you'll put cash in your pocket. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Local names you can trust with 2 locations.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Get cash for your scrap. Get started at farnsworthmetals.com.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up